Hello and welcome to another Getting Projects Done. No, it's not Getting Projects Done. This is Way the Brush. Way the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and just about anything under the sun. If you're brand new to this hobby, feel free to ask your questions in the chat, whichever direction it might be in for you. And of course, if you're watching this after the fact, you can always submit your questions to Kris at wayofthebrush.com, central hub of all this silliness. Links are in the description, as well as links to wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all this silliness has links to all the social medias as well as Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling there 24/7. And so feel free to post questions and post whatever you're doing or just talk about whatever. It's kind of like this show. It's wide open. So, feel free. Only one rule in the Discord server. Don't be a dick. That's it. That's the only rule, is don't be a dick. Pretty straightforward, I think. So you'll find the links down below. Of course, you also, if you want to find yourself a t-shirt, if you're watching this on YouTube, you also see them down below. T-shirts. Want to look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world? They're wearing a Way the Brush t-shirt. If you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. And of course, you'll find links for Patreon. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without your support, this channel would not be able to continue to do what it is that I do. And so a huge, huge thank you to all my patrons for their continued support, and anybody who's brand new and, who's just recently come on and what have you. So huge thank you to everybody who does that. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, commenting, ringing the bell, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. I might as well just do the rest of the show like this. Blah, 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 blah. So, huge thank you to everybody who does that. All it takes a couple clicks of a button. You're helping me out a great deal. Big thank you to Carl, Gamir Alfair, Beer and Blood Bowl. It's a YouTube channel. Check it out. If you love yourself some beer, you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. We always take time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for creating the email jingles that play before the email segments of the show. And so always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the begin and end of the show. Always much love to my baby bro Evan. If you're into rare comics, EB Comics, it's in the description below. We're talking rare, like the hard to find. He's also got the Instagram thing. You just go to EB Comics and you'll see what he's offering. So, huge thank you to him as well. Much love, much, much, much love. I feel like I got through that fairly fast. Maybe all my caffeine is kicking in. It's kicking in. Who's joining us today? I can see Kim. Hey, hey. The Barfing Sheep. Norwegian takeover imminent. Yeah. It does seem like there's a few of you Norwegian cats in the audience these days. So I guess I'm on at the right time for you guys to. Oh, yeah. Geez Louise. Sir Peanut Butter. Subscribing with the Twitch Prime. Thank you, Sir Peanut Butter. Yeah, so Norwegian folk. I'm gonna have to go to Norway someday, just to check shit out, I guess, and of course say hi to a bunch of you. Sophie Wow, hey Kris, hey chat, hey Sophie. Ghost of Starman Deluxe, hey Kris and monkeys. Why paint the town red when you can paint your minis Mephiston red? That's deep. That's deep. That's profound. That's the kind of wisdom that we like to share on this program. So, mind you, though, Mephiston red, is a pretty kick-ass color. Not quite corn red. Corn red is a little desaturated for my liking. Mephiston red, lovely saturation and so deep. It's almost vermilion. That's a color we don't hear often enough. Vermilion. We hear sanguinary. We hear carmine. But not enough vermilion. Maybe we should all start using that in our vernacular more often. So, it's a lovely vermilion you've got going on there. You sound like some sort of crazy person. Lord Crab, you sup, party peeps? Sup? Kim. Oh, we are. Norwegian taking over? Yeah, okay. I'm fine with that. I don't care. So far, I mean, of the few of you that I've managed to converse with and interact with, seem like a bunch of cool cats. So yeah. Sir Peanut Butter, morning, Kris and Peeps. Morning, Sir Peanut Butter. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Bar One or Baron? Is it Bar One or Baron? Baron? Why does that name sound familiar? Baron. Is that from Everybody Loves Raymond? Aren't they Barons? Isn't that their last name, the character's name? Anyway. Howdy, Kris and Monkeys. Hope everyone having an awesome Saturday. Yes, awesome Saturday. It's a beautiful day. It's cold as hell in my parts, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's getting cool. We've actually started to get a little bit of snow in my area. In fact, I think it's kind of like fluffy stuff falling now. Yes, I know everybody who's in warmer climates, you never see snow. Yes, I know that. Don't remind me. Make me talk through my teeth. Don't remind me of the frickin' cold. Kim, we are 6 hours ahead of you, so it's pretty nicely timed for us, the times you stream at. Cool, yeah. Well, it's got to be like middle of the night for you guys when I do the other stream. Because like that's later in the day when I do that. Whereas now it's like, yeah. Unless, of course, well, it's like dinner time for you guys right now, isn't it? I know for Europe, it's like dinner time kind of thing. Anyway. Legion. What about Burgundy Red? Oh, Burgundy Red. Yeah, exactly. Burgundy Red. That's another one, right? Vermilion, Carmine, Sanguine. Burgundy Red. So many different words. How many words are there for red? What would it be? I don't know. Names of red. Cherry, rose, jam, merlot, garnet, crimson. Oh, crimson. Forgot crimson. How could I forget crimson? I forgot crimson. Ruby is another one. This is just a quick little thing here. 240 names. I don't have time for 240 names. No. Now. Oh, this page goes on. Just give me red. God damn it. There we go. Scarlet. Ah, Scarlet. Yes. Evil Sun Scarlet. There we go. That's another one. Wine, brick, apple, mahogany, blood, sangria, berry. Did somebody say berry when describing red? Oh, that's berry red. I guess. Currant. Not familiar with that word. What does that mean? What's a currant? Oh wait, is that a fruit? A currant? Gooseberry family. Okay, well, there we go. Now we know. See, the beauty of Google, right? Blush, candy, and lipstick. These don't feel like names of red. I mean, the first couple were pretty good. You start to lose it around brick and apple. Well, apple's red, but I mean, these are green apples. Anyway, I realize we're already going off on a tangent there, but oh, where the hell am I in these comments? Baron like Tyrone. Okay, so it's Baron then. I've been always saying Bar One. I don't know why. I can't read. I've made it this far in life not being able to read. Job was left nut. We had snow today. You guys had snow? Do you guys get snow in the UK? I imagine you do, but I imagine it doesn't stay very long. Because I was there, 2 years ago in a February. And it was February in these parts. It still looks like the damn North Pole. And it was quite warm when I went there in a February. So, quit whining. We get buried alive in snow here, for God's sakes, people. Buried alive in snow, and it's coming. Winter's coming. When it starts to get cold like this, you want to don the fur-lined cloaks and have your hood pulled up and, stand like this, covered up, and, yeah, it's... And stand around and, stoically look off into the distance and say, winter is coming. And remind everybody all the time, winter is coming. Feisty Crabman. Crabman. Hello, friends. Hello, Feisty. Kim, the Getting Projects Done is from 10 o'clock to midnight for us. Oh, okay. Oh, so it's not too late then. I was thinking that it was really late for you guys. But yeah. Sophie, snow is great snowball fights and building naughty-shaped snowmen. Building naughty-shaped. What are naughty-shaped snowmen? I'm gonna have to plead ignorance on this. You're gonna have to describe it for me, Sophie. I don't know what a naughty-shaped snowman is. Is he in suggestive positions? Barone, a lot of guitars are in Candy Apple Red. Was Candy on that list? I already closed that tab, but was Candy on that list? Candy Apple Red. Yeah, Apple Red. Yeah, because because we get red apples, green apples, and you get red and green apples. Yeah. Interesting. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Current is pronounced the same as current. Oh, so it's just current? Current and current. Two different spellings, but you pronounce it the same way. That doesn't make any fucking sense. English sucks. It sucks. I'm sorry, it sucks. Everybody who speaks it, including myself, it sucks. Don't bother learning it. It doesn't do any good. It only furthers to serve to confuse you. Barone, probably because I used a 0 as a O for a long time. Oh, right. Yeah, maybe that's why. Yeah, I can remember. I kind of remember seeing a 0 now. I don't remember. I was just saying that. Feisty Crabman. Fingers crossed for no snow in Texas this year. Oof, yeah. Last year didn't go so well for a large part of Texas last year. The bigger question is, snow, at this point, it's kind of inevitable. The bigger concern is, were the upgrades to the grid performed? That's the bigger concern. Not that if snow's coming, because we know snow will come periodically, even to Texas. And so were preparations made to secure the power grid so that what happened last year does not happen again. Barone, a.k.a. me being dum-dum. Dum-dum? A dum-dum. Listen up, dum-dums. Ben Ellis, episode 365. Every day is a snow day. Every day is a snow day. In winter, every day is a snow day. Kim, pretty sure most of you don't have experienced weather like we get here on the north side of the Arctic Circle. Yeah, no, I have never been past the, I don't know, probably like the 50th parallel, whatever the hell it is. But yeah. I may be really a little further than that. 45 is pretty far. But yeah, Arctic Circle though? No, never been that far north. Not in a mad rush to do it either. Unless I'm coming to Norway. Unless I'm going to Norway. Then yes, I'll happily venture into the cold. Well, mainly because it looks like some really great territory, and it looks like there's tons of mountain ranges and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'd love to see all sorts of places on this planet. Would love to. I'm sure as many of you would. Just love to check a bunch of stuff out, just to see. Even when I was in the UK, I wanted to venture around in the countryside. I wanted to see the land. Yeah. I wanted to see the land. I wanted to see just what life is like, Its commonalities, the differences, stuff like that. Just kind of stupid shit that I'm into. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. English does suck, yes. Alex Halstall. Halsall? Lots of snow here in the UK at the minute. Oh, really? Wow. Lots of snow. Like, what's lots of snow? An inch? 6 inches? A foot? Or 30 centimeters? Because in my parts, Not in my parts, but I mean, in the area I live, we can get quite a bit of snow. It hasn't been too much snow in the last couple of years. But, yeah, when we first moved down this way, yeah. Now, up north, where, like, Sault Ste. Marie in northern Ontario, where I came from, holy grumolies. Grumolies. Not crumolies. Grumolies. Yeah, you get feet upon feet. Like, it could go as high as you. Like, that's how much snow you can get. You get buried alive. Especially with the lake effect. Oof. Oof. Yeah, it's just that wet, fluffy stuff just comes down. Oof. Oof. Feisty Crab Man. No, it didn't change anything. Apparently, we just going to YOLO, and when the ice comes. Oh, Jesus, really? Well, then, I hope that Texas does not repeat last year. Sir Peanut Butter. I've gone full ogre. I've got layers. Bring on the cold. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, just go full ogre. Just, you know. Well, the ogres, I mean, like, they're running around bare ass. They wear pants. I like, if you're going to walk around and fight as an ogre, you know, like in Age of Sigmar and Warhammer Fantasy, why go into battle with no shirt on, but have pants? You might as well just have no pants. Like, what's the difference, right? You might as well just be bare ass, just a bunch of bare ass ogres running around and, you know, mixing it up with everybody, right? Unless, of course, there's some sort of decency law amongst ogres, which they eat people, so, you know, again. Where, basically, I'm asking the underlying question here. Where are ogre morals at? Where is the baseline for ogre morals? Ogre morals. That's a word. That's a sentence. That's a string of words that I thought I'd never say. Ogre morals. Sophie, very suggested position, or a huge manhood is common. Yeah, I've actually had the huge manhood in my neighborhood. My buddy across the street, he loves playing with snow, and he's practically the same age as me, and he's a huge kid. And yeah, he made a giant pinos on his lawn. It was huge. It was like probably like 10 feet tall. Like there was quite a bit of snow, and he grabbed snow from other people's yards, and he brought it over. And yeah, he can just zone in like that for a project all day long, and he made this giant penis. But then he took it down that day, mainly because he just didn't want to hear anybody probably bitching, and because there's a bunch of kids on the street too. So a bunch of kids walking by. Dad, what's that giant penis on that lawn there? No, nothing. It's nothing. Nothing. Ignore it. Ignore it. Basically, a bunch of parents who don't feel like having that conversation that day. What is that giant mushroom thing? Why is it kicking two little balls? The Barfing Sheep. I had a whopping 7 hours of daylight today. Oof. Oof. Gelby. Hello again, Stashman. Hello again. Alex Halsall. 3 to 4 inches, but we usually don't usually get that much until mid to late December. Interesting. Yeah, because see, like I don't have, you know, I assume you guys get snow in the UK, but I don't have that perception of it. Now I realize that, you know, I've only been to the UK once, and you know, that's like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what, you know, contemporary life is like in the UK. But all the stuffs you see on media, TV shows, movies, and, you know, whatever's, yeah, you don't really see the perception of the UK in snow. I mean, I'm sure Canada, you mention Canada, everybody's like skiing, toboggans, toques, ice skates, right? Bunch of toothless people skating on the lake playing hockey. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that's probably many people's perception of Canada. And it's actually not that far off. For about half the year. About half of the year, you're correct in that assumption. But, yeah. Kim. We have just a tiny bit of snow so far this year. It's pretty insignificant. 7 inches now. 7 inches is okay. It's not as I could be bothered going out and shoveling it. We'll wait till it's 20 inches and then I do it. Oh, geez. No, we usually keep up even 6 inches. We'll give the driveway a scraping just because, you don't like when there's like the deep ruts and, and your car is constantly kind of just jostling inside the ruts of the snow. That's annoying. Ben Ellis, episode 365, Extra Inches and Inappropriate Snowmen. I like it. We'll go with that for a moment. Extra inches. Oh, damn. The comment moved as I was highlighting all that, and it it made me grab more. Grab more. Anyway. Sorry. Fuck off. There we go. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. The Barfing Sheep. Ogre morals are, can I eat it? I don't think they are deep thinkers. No, I don't think ogres are very deep thinkers. I think can I eat it is about as complex a topic we'll get for ogres, I would assume. Of course, we are assuming their intellect, right? Maybe there are some deep thinkers amongst the ogres, and they get shunned. The rest of the ogres are like, oh, that guy's a fucking nerd. Come on, be a proper ogre and go bash somebody on the head, Proper ogre etiquette. Sid Tyler. Pinos. Or are we talking peeners? Are we talking peeners? Like for snowmen? Well, if you find yourself, making a snowman and you don't use the carrot to make the nose, there you go. Peeners. Ben Ellis, ogre morality is below the belt. I need that little I need a soundboard. Then this becomes basically like a stupid talk radio show, right? Where I got like a soundboard playing sound effects and, have like a horn or a whistle blow and, ooga, that kind of shit. Anyway. Kim, that's pretty great. With 7 hours of light, we get down to about 2 hours now at the other end of the country. We'll go till 24 hours darkness in a few days. Really? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because I was just watching somebody who's up in the Northwest Territories. Or maybe it was Yukon. Might have been Nunavut, but yeah, Nunavut. But yeah, they were talking about how it's coming up soon then. The days are going to be, the sun's going to be gone. It's going to go away. I can't even fathom living like that, like perpetual darkness and perpetual light. Yeah. Just the thought of it is like right now, it's kind of freaking me out. I rely heavily upon the sun, especially when, it's cool. Stand outside and just feel the sunlight. Greatest thing ever. And I can't imagine it getting up in a day and there's not any fucking sun. It's just this twilight everywhere. And it's, yeah. Again, it's kind of freaking me out. I'm not going to lie. It's freaking me out. I'm genuinely freaked out now. In fact, I probably should just end the stream because I can't go on. I'm too distressed. Ghost of Starman. Snow in the UK is kind of random. Sometimes we get quite a bit. Sometimes nothing at all. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because like my perception of like the UK, no snow. Lots of rain. Because I picture it almost, but not quite, kind of like the west coast of Canada and the US as well. Well, kind of, I guess, the northern part of it, because California's on the west coast and it's hot as balls, right? But like Seattle, Oregon, Washington State, BC, get tons of rain. They hardly ever get any snow because the Pacific Ocean is so warm, right? So, yeah. But, anyway. Gilby, hey, what do you know about Halo? I'm a huge fan, and I'm looking to convert you. Convert me? To Halo? I unfortunately am not a I'm somewhat familiar with Halo. My son loves Halo. He's you know, I wouldn't say he's like a diehard fanatic or anything like that, but he enjoys the video game. I don't really care for the video game. Um, the gameplay itself, I don't like that floaty kind of jumping in games. You know, like when you take a jump and you're just kind of flying around. I don't really care for that. I don't know what it is. It's just, it takes me out of it. You know, especially when there's really no explicable reason why you're floating. It just, you know, again, I'm just not crazy with the gameplay. Now, as far as the universe is concerned, it's yeah, I'm actually probably not that familiar with it, really, I guess. I mean, like, I understand the Master Chief thing and the other duders who shoot crystals out of their shit and have the big glowing power swords and, you know, stuff like that. I get it. It's cool as balls. But, you know, yeah, I'm not that big into Halo, no. So you're looking to convert me. Well, you're gonna have to lay some convincing arguments down to convert me. You'd have to lay out some pretty convincing evidence for me. Kim, 4 months of the year, the full darkness, and the 24-hour sunlight. Yeah. Again, the 24-hour sunlight, it doesn't sound bad at first, but then until you realize that like 1 or 2 in the morning and it's still fucking sunny out, yeah, that seems to kind of, you know, that kind of things would mess with me. I am a bit of a flower in that regards, that, you know, when the sun is shining, I'm active, and when it's dark, I'm high and in bed, basically. I don't know if you guys needed all that detail, but anyway. Alex Helsall. Seattle is a great analogy for the UK. Yeah, I don't quite imagine it like Seattle, although I've never been to Seattle, or, you know, BC for that matter. But the perception is that it's, you know, very little snow, lots of rain. And that's kind of the impression I get of the UK as well, you know. It's not that cold, despite how far north really on the globe that, you know, the UK is. I would assume that, you know, it gets more snow, but what do I know, right? Barfing sheep. Most of us take vitamin D supplements in winter times. Oh, really? Now, see, I was under the impression that a lot of Northern Europeans and such, because I know, like, you know, it's in history, rickets was a real danger to people, right? And from what I understand is that people traditionally in Northern Europe got their vitamin D from the fish. So that's why, you know, everybody eats a ton of fish, and then when they don't get that ton of fish to get the vitamins, that, you know, rickets starts to set in and fucks your bones up and all that shit, right? So yeah, that's what I understood anyway. It's I realize it's a very broad generalization, but yeah. See, personally, I don't take any supplements for anything these days anyway. I you know, just watch what I eat. Consume a lot less sugar than I used to. A lot less. But yeah. Alex, Seattle's a great... Oh, yeah, Seattle. Yeah. Gilby, have you heard the tragedy of Keldarsam? The first light of Sanghelios? Sanghelios? I have not. Legion, it's not a story the Jedi would tell you. Yeah, see, because, like, for me, Halo's a relatively new sci-fi property, and it already feels very borrowed from other stuff, like 40K, of which, I'm a big fan of the universe of 40K, despite all its problems, of course, but, it's still a fun sandbox to play in. And I'm just not that familiar with Halo, and, not that I'm, against it or anything like that, but yeah, it just, okay, he's a space marine essentially, and he's running around fighting aliens. Got it, Seems pretty straightforward to me. Gelby, let's start with the split-lipped fucks, the Sangheli. Space samurai lizards with lightsabers. What's not to love about that? I really like. You know what though? I don't really care for the design of some of them. The little guys with the longer heads to them, and their mouths are peeking out, and the top half of their head is kind of covered up. That feels very borrowed from Giger's Xenomorphs. And then having glowing swords. Again, the whole glowing sword thing it's kind of been done, right? And so, again, it Halo feels like it borrows a lot from a lot of other ideas. But, I mean, that's true of anything. Star Wars, right, borrows a lot from a lot of other sources, right? Warhammer 40,000 borrows a lot from a lot of other sources. And so, I don't know enough about Halo, but yeah, I'm just not, superhuman men running around in armor who just seem to be unstoppable tanks, kicking the fuck out of all sorts of aliens. I've been in that universe for 30 years, so I don't really need another one, right? I mean, unless, of course, it's really kick-ass, but, yeah, I'm not really particularly fired up about it. I'm not saying that you can't enjoy it. Go right ahead. I know there are tons and tons of people. Like I said, my son, he loves Halo. He's not running around with like a Master Chief helmet or anything like that, but, he does love this stuff. Gelby, Legion gets it. Sophie. Oh, we got a lot of rain. Really threw it down here Thursday night. Yeah, I guess. You got rain, then there's snow as well. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I guess we had rain earlier this week. A little bit of rain. Just enough to make everything soggy again. And then, yeah, it's cold now. It's not quite stick your nostrils cold, but it's cold. It's cold. I don't know if for any of you, especially in the UK and what have yous, or even Texas for that matter, that kind of cold where your nostrils stick right together. Yeah, that's some cold shit. Like your nostrils just go like that, literally. Yeah, literally, not figuratively, not metaphorically, literally. Barone, just ask Palpatine. Alex Halsall. Where in the UK did I visit? I went to Nottingham, as everybody says, as the natives say, Nottingham. That's kind of fun too. Going to the UK and viewing life of the natives. I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah. Getting to learn just a little bit more of native culture in the UK. Yeah, it's really interesting. Doomslayer. Afternoon, Kris. Get any good loot yesterday, or is there anything you were hoping to get over the weekend? Any good loot yesterday? Oh, because it was Black Friday. Yeah, North America. Well, North America, I assume Black Friday is kind of a worldwide thing now. It's just, consumerism, right? So, Black Friday, no. I could not tell you the last time I even dared to enter any kind of shopping center, big box store, whatever, or even online. I don't, I'm a bad consumer. I'm a bad streamer. I'm a bad consumer. You name it. In today's society, I am not good at any of it. It all seems like bullshit to me. So, I don't really want to partake in it because it just seems really goofy and damaging and unhealthy. So why would I want to partake in these activities that, are unhealthy, And Black Friday, yeah, and you see those videos of people fucking trampling each other just to get $1 off a TV, or just it's madness. It's madness, and that's what it looks like to me. It looks like madness to me. So, like I said, I'm a bad consumer though, because I see that shit and I'm just, what are you fucking people doing? It's craziness. Barfing Sheep, Sophie, did you have a taste of the storm? I guess you guys had a big storm. A bit, yes. Oh yeah. Interesting. Gil B, Halo definitely does take a lot of inspiration. The Spartans definitely are tanky, but their backstory is really interesting. 6-year-old kidnapped and forced to train like Navy SEALs on crack. Yeah, what was that movie? Soldier. They kidnap the kids and make them super soldiers. And, I don't know if they were genetically modified or anything like that, but, yeah. And I mean, like, Space Marines are kind of the same thing as well, right? It all depends on whatever faction of Space Marine we're talking about, right? Because they got to go through trials when they become an adult, or, when they're taken as a kid, or, they're mutants, and, blah, 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 right? You can come up with any different way of making super soldiers, and, they're doing it in 40K, right? But yeah, I mean, like, again, yeah, Halo, it does feel very borrowed. Yes, the same thing could be said about Star Wars, Star Trek, Warhammer, blah, 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 blah. Go on, right? Other than some of the originals, like Dune or Foundation or, I don't know. There's a bunch of other places, but, yeah, where they feel, a bit borrowed. But, yeah. But again, I mean, like, I know that tons of people love Halo. And, yeah, enjoy it. I mean, if you enjoy it, then continue to enjoy it. Again, like I said, like for you to convince me to become a Halo fanatic, you're gonna have to lay some pretty convincing arguments on me. You're gonna have to convince me. I'm not an easy sell. Again, I'm a bad consumer. I'm skeptical of everything. I'm skeptical. Sophie, did you have a Greg's pastry, Kris? No, I didn't. Oh, in Nottingham? No. Greg's pastry. I don't think so. No. When I was invited to go to G-Dub's HQ, I was pretty much hotel, headquarters, check out a bit of nightlife. Really, what would I like? I was trying to plan it out that I could hit both sides of, like, from where Nottingham is, and check out some of the local spots. I can't remember. There was something east of Nottingham that I wanted to check out. Oh, I can't remember now. There was something east. And I was like, oh, that's only so far away. I was like, maybe I'll be able to squeeze that in. And no, I didn't even have the opportunity to do it. Again, I had a ton of fun, and it was great. But I wish I could have, seen more of the UK, So, yeah. Because definitely would love to have checked out Scotland, would love to check out Ireland, the islands, you know what I mean? Like, again, you can probably just spend months and months there just checking shit out, just checking the sites out, right? Even, because, like, coming into the country was London. Landed in London, left in London, but never really saw London. Saw it from the air, but that was it. Fun one was on the flight there, which was kind of fun because when I left here in Canada, now I left from Toronto's International Airport, and the sun had just started setting. It was like, I think 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that. And the sun was like, it was getting really dark, and we were just starting to get an ice storm. There was ice coming down, so it was, it's kind of dangerous. And and I remember too, they had to spray the plane down with a solution that I guess breaks up the ice on the surface so that it doesn't gather, right? So we take off. The sun, like, as we got into altitude, and there was this one really wonderful part, and I meant to take a picture of it, but I was like, fuck it, I don't care. It's in my brain. I'll remember it, because in the plane, as we were like kind of like at altitude and we were still, I guess, climbing or whatever, we were between two layers of cloud, and the lights were still on the plane, so it was all illuminated outside. and it was 2 layers, and it felt like it was only a couple feet above the plane and a couple feet below the plane, and it was completely clear in the middle. And so it was like you were in this long, wide room, and we're just cruising along, and it just kind of went off into the distance like that, into the darkness, really. It wasn't quite that dark because there was still a bit of sunlight coming up. But the interesting part was the sun set flying and arrived in the UK, and the sun was rising. And so that was the first time for me of watching the sunset and the sunrise in a very short window. That was very, very interesting. And of course, the other interesting thing was it was just before we were getting ready to land, I guess. I saw lights, and I could see, like, it's pitch black, but I could see a bunch of lights down below, and like I was like, wow, what is that down there? I was like, because I'm picturing like we were over the Atlantic, and I'm like, what am I looking at down there? And so then on the seat in front of me, there was a screen where you can kind of see where GPS on, like, where the plane is on the planet, right? And it was Iceland. And I was like, wow, that's Iceland. I'm flying over Iceland. That's really cool. Because, I've never been on that side of the planet. So, like, it's a whole new experience for me. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Oh, somebody did a super chat. Thank you. I didn't get a notification. Did you guys hear a notification? I didn't hear shit. I'm going to turn my volume back up a bit here. Why didn't I get a notification? Thank you, Doomslayer, for the super chat. Where was I in these comments here? I jumped ahead a bit. But no, Greg's Pastry. I had not tried a Greg's Pastry. If I ever find my way back there again, I'll have to try Greg's Pastry. One thing I did have to do, this seems terribly cliche, and so many of you in the UK will probably roll your eyes, but I had to have fish and chips. So I had to make sure that was one thing I did in the UK, was have fish and chips. And it was good. Dark Commission joined me that day, and so I was like, yeah. And it was great. I got to meet a few of you, and yeah, it was really fun. It was a good time. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. You need to come back to Nottingham sometime so we can get you in Prism? In Prism. Like, is that like the Phantom Zone in Superman? It's like the Prism? The Phantom Zone? You're scaring me now, Ghost. Oh, and I was supposed to meet Ghost, and I didn't, and I still kind of feel a little bit bad. Not so much, but a little bit. I still feel a little bit bad that I didn't get to meet Ghost, and I know he was hanging out all day, and yeah, I didn't get a chance to get away, and yeah, I still feel a little bit bad about that. Just a little. Then, and then I remember all the times that Ghost has pissed me off, so it's like, it's water under the bridge. Fuck that guy. Shit. Oh, man. Ghost is like, yeah, fuck you, man. Fucking turns the stream off. Ben Ellis, from the lore stance, is there a craft world that is linked more to race than other craft worlds? Yeah, Iandon. The yellow and blue. They have the yellow bodies, the blue helmets. They're very closely linked to the wraiths, because their craft world, in the lore, their craft world was decimated. And so they're very reliant upon awakening their dead to, fight their battles. So, yeah, there is a craft world that is dependent on. It's the yellow and blue Iandon. That's how I always pronounce it. I don't know how other people pronounce it, but yeah, Iandon. Gelby then forced through experimental surgeries that killed half of them, and they would do it all again to save humanity. Yeah. It's always funny. We're going to go off on a slight tangent here, but it's always funny. Like in Halo, I'm not that familiar with the universe, so I'm just going to, first impressions there. How exactly do they save humanity? And it's just like 40K. How do the Space Marines save humanity? By going to an alien world and causing a dust up, right? Which is why I often would like to see more. I mean, if they're always going to portray Space Marines as heroes, I would like to see more heroic actions from them. Saving people, saving lives. Because then they would truly be heroes, right? Going around blasting a bunch of aliens and stuff like that, okay, fighting wars, sure. But you don't really see them saving lives. A squad of Marines laying down their lives to protect a village, suburb, a factory, whatever, right? You don't ever really see that. It's always, we're rolling in our tanks and we're going to blast and we're going to just destroy the orc settlement. And you know what I mean? Like, that's heroic? Yeah, that's the idea of heroism? I don't think so. Not as far as I've always understood it. Doomslayer. I'm going to understand the answer as I'm such a big deal. Companies pay to take their stuff. For me to pay me to take their stuff. Oh, no. Not even, man. Not even. I'm a small fish in this very huge pond. Gil B. I'm definitely going to have to watch that. I'm not giving up, damn it. Yeah, I mean, please feel free to, try and convince me that Halo is really awesome. I mean, I know it's awesome because there's many, many people who love and are fanatic about it. I understand that. That's, but, there's people who love Power Rangers. I'm not a huge Power Rangers fan, but, I know there's tons and tons and tons of people out there who just love Power Rangers. Power Rangers is the best. It's got the best storytelling. It's got the best, storytelling devices and, people jumping into Megazords and forming a big giant robot to fight monsters. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get all that. But it doesn't really excite me that much. So, I don't care. Anyway. Lord Krabby, I really love the new Judge Dredd movie. Imagine only responding to 10% of emergency crime be a hell of a video game. I am the law. Really love the helmets in the universe. Yeah, Judge Dredd, yeah. Judge Dredd, though, I mean, like, you shouldn't want to live in Judge Dredd's world. Just like Warhammer 40,000. You do not want to live in that universe. It's an awful universe. And Judge Dredd's the same thing. You do not want to live there. Good God. So, Doomslayer, super chat. Thank you. Here you a coffee, guy. Have one on me to warm up. You know what? I actually do kind of need to warm up. I'm cool. Not like I'm cool. I mean, like, I'm a little cool. Like, my shoulders are kind of cold. Yeah. I'm kind of cold. And it's not very, cold here. I mean, it's cold, but it's not. I think what it is humidity. I think I gotta turn up or turn on my dehumidifier because I think my basement's getting a little humid. Sorry, I gotta take a sip. It's one of my favorite mugs. It's Christmas Star. It's a major award. Doomslayer. Thanks for the tips, brother. Well, thank you. Ghost of Starman, you'd better have visited Weatherspoons while you were here. You're naming off these places. I mean, you guys can name off places all the live long day. I could have walked in. I have no idea. I don't know. All I really remember was my interaction with that one fella who was apparently speaking English to me, and I could not understand a word he was saying. And he looked like the UK's version of Bubbles. And if you're not familiar with who Bubbles is, go Trailer Park Boys, Bubbles, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Go ahead. I'll pause the stream and go search up Trailer Park Boys, Bubbles. And yeah. Now imagine that guy, okay, in the UK speaking to me, and I cannot understand a word he's saying. Sophie, hope you had mushy peas with the fish and chips. Yes, I did have mushy peas. Yes, this place did. It was good. I enjoyed it. Like mushy peas. I'm not a huge fan of mushy peas, but ate it along with it and everything like that, and but yeah. Again, it's just so I can say, yeah, I've had fish and chips in the UK. I have. Anyway. Doomslayer, I thought you were going to say you caused a ruckus in front of a Bobby, and he was like, what's all this then? No, you know what? Did I see any of those? Because they don't dress like that anymore. They dress like modern, contemporary police officers, right? They don't dress like, because like when you say a Bobby, I'm imagining those guys in the blue uniform with that tall blue hat. You know, that's what I'm imagining. And I don't remember seeing those. Yeah. Everybody in the UK is like, Kris, no, they don't fucking look like that anymore, dude. Like, no. TV has lied to you. Again, this is why I'm very skeptical of everything. Skepticable. Goes to Starman. Prism's a nightclub. One of my preferred nights out. Cheap drinks. Oh, really? There was a joint we went to, because there was a few of us. We were with a group, and then we took off and checked out this other scene. And it was in an old church. And we kind of did like a lap around the place, and then we booked. But yeah, I wasn't, it seemed really kind of bougie to me. And like, it just, you know, it seemed a bit like a meat market to me. And a lot of the girls just seemed to be plastered in makeup. And that to me, kind of an immediate disqualifier for meeting interesting people. Not that I was there looking to pick up or anything like that. It's just, you know, usually when you see people who are just overly done up, that is just, whatever. It's kind of exhausting. It's exhausting. I don't really feel like dealing with it. Unless, of course, I was going to see something. Be part of something kind of crazy, which is why I went. Because, you know, I was looking for entertainment, right? So, you know, that's why I went. But, yeah. But I don't know if that's a place. I can't remember what the hell that place was called. But it was like, I think, was it north of the square? Like the main square in Nottingham? It was kind of north. It was the art gallery. I remember it was the art gallery, and it was like up the street, and there was like this church, and it was inside, like this old church. And you go in, and yeah, it was just loud music, perfume all over the place, people done to the nine, you know. So anyway, yeah, it really wasn't my scene. I'm not really into that kind of shit. Aaron Seach, howdy Kris and Monkey Brethren, happy Saturday to you, Aaron. Ghost of Starman Deluxe, don't worry, I'm sure you'll have a chance to be graced by my presence at some point. Who knows where this life will take us. The Barfing Sheep, where did you get the Bob Ross figurine? I need one. The Bob Ross action figure? That's from the company NECA. N-E-C-A. I'm pretty sure that's the ones who made it. Or was it a McFarlane? Anyway, somebody makes the figure. I picked that up. I'm pretty sure you can still pick it up. I bought mine through a third party. Big Bad Toy Store. That's where I picked mine up from. I just ordered it. But if you type in Bob Ross action figure, yeah. And it's really great because he comes with an easel. He's got little brushes you can put in his hands. You know, it's the full trip. And his cloth, like, or his outfit is cloth on his action figure. And yeah, I was actually thinking of like pulling his head off and putting it on one of the Bandai Marines. Bob Ross Bandai Marine. I was thinking that. He's a little bit big though. Because you can see he's even taller than the Space Marines. So he's not really in scale. What is he in scale with? I have no idea. But he's not really in scale. Actually, maybe he's more like a 112. No, 1/6 scale? No, that seems too big. 1/6? Because 112 is basically what the Space Marines are at. They're basically a 112 scale. And 1/6 should be double that. Unless, of course, Bob is double that. No. I don't know. But it's Bob Ross. Bob Ross. Bob Ross. Bob Ross. Heretic Scott, sup, bro? Sup? Gail B. Well, the Covenant were the genocidal crusade to wipe out humanity. Chief watched his brothers and sisters get ripped apart, saving civvies. I suggest watching the Halo 4 intro cut. Okay. Doomslayer, your Halo musings make me wonder if you came across a miniature game that wasn't D&D or a deathmatch objective game that was just a different concept of dudes running around, similar to Blood Bowl. I don't know. Yeah, with Halo, I mean, like, I've only ever seen the online play. I've never watched the campaigns at all, ever. Because usually whenever, like, my son will start playing video games and, you know, story modes and stuff like that. Sometimes I watch, sometimes I don't. With Halo, Again, it's the really smooth movement. It's that there's no sense of movement when you're just walking, right? And then when you jump, you're floating, and it takes me right out of it. It takes me right out of the gameplay. It's just you jump and you're just flying, and like no. Even most jumping in video games, it seems unrealistic. Especially like in a lot of first-person shooters, like Call of Duty and Battlefields and what have you. Jumping and then shooting and then hitting the ground and then immediately getting back up and then jumping, shooting. You know what I mean? Like, it just, that kind of shit is not very realistic. There's a really great game, Insurgency, and the new one that's out is Sandstorm. Insurgency Sandstorm. It's a bit like Counter-Strike in how it kind of plays, but it's better. It's not quite a combat sim. It's more arcadey than that, but it's good, solid gameplay. I like Insurgency. I've got it on my computer, but the new version of it, yeah, it's really cool. Anyway. Ghost of Starman. There are literally 4 Witherspoons in Nottingham, so it's unlikely for you to have stumbled into one at some point. It's unlikely for me? No? I have no idea. Okay. Who knows? I did just a little bit of wandering. I really didn't do much wandering. It was really just GWHQ, hotel. A little bit of nightlife, HQ, hotel. Nightlife, HQ, hotel. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it wasn't, I still had a fantastic time. It was great, but, yeah. Ben Ellis, Space Wolves and Salamanders are 2 of the only chapters I can think of that hold the rest of humanity as more than just resource. Space Wolves? Salamanders? Salamanders, from what I understand, now, I've not really read anything as far as the Salamanders, but I'm always told that Salamanders are the closest thing to a good guy in Warhammer 40,000. And Space Wolves, I don't really see that one either, but okay. Jobs of Nut. You should read Brotherhood of the Snake. Shows that chapter caring about normal people and defending them from the Dark Elder without treating them like they're inferior. Yeah, it's not so much treating them like the inferior or anything like that. It's just, that's the sole purpose. At least if they're heroes. If Space Marines are heroes, and if we're supposed to accept them as heroes, then they should do things that are heroic. Just simply showing up in a plane and bombarding a place and machine gunning a bunch of mutants, aliens, whatevers to pieces, not heroic. That's not heroic, right? Heroism typically involves sacrifice. And so usually Space Marines are not seen sacrificing. Usually other things are sacrificed for Space Marines, right? At least from what I've read. Now, mind you, I've not read everything, so I'm not up on everything. But yeah. Doomslayer. Yeah, they don't have any Bobbies anymore. Too bad. Gelby also watched Halo 3 Believe trailers. Halo 3 Believe trailers? Okay. Jabba's Left Nut. Yeah, the police don't keep their sandwiches under their helmets anymore. They dress normal. Gelby, Jabba's Left Nut sounds awesome. I need to read it. Great name, by the way. Jabba's Left Nut, yeah. Sophie Wild. Next time Kris comes to the UK, one of us will have to show him around and get him snacks and translate the local slang for him. Yeah. Oh, I totally needed an interpreter. I needed an interpreter. For sure. The first day there, like I said, Dark Commission showed me around. We cruised and checked out things, and yeah, that was the only time I had a native with me to translate. I needed a native to translate for me. Like I said, and before I went on the trip, and I was listening to a bunch of movies and trying to get an ear for the accent and everything like that. But that dude, and that was at the end of my trip there. It was I think it was the last day I was there, the last full day. And yeah, this guy was talking to me, and I'm like, this UK Bubbles guy. I had no idea. I was like, I'm sorry, what? I just want this candy bar, and here's money. You make the change. I'm going to take your word for it. Just, let me go. I want out of this interaction. Yeah. Doomslayer, was this at the same time Dave went to the UK and was on Midwinter Minis, or did you roll solo? This was 2019. I was invited to the UK to basically talk about the contrast paints when contrast paints first came out. Yeah, so this is like 2-3 years ago. Going on 3 years. Fucking yeah, it's going on 3 years now. Yeah, it was a while ago anyway. Yeah, but no, no, I went by myself. I was invited there by Games Workshop. I had a great time. It was nice. Kim, hard to find Bob Ross Funko Pop. I have Leonardo da Vinci, but have not got my hands on Bob yet. Yeah, a few of the Bobs. There's one Bob I think that's kind of pricey. Is it like the one with the raccoon? I think there's a Bob. I don't have that one, but the Bob Ross with a raccoon. I think that one. It's kind of expensive to find nowadays. The other ones I have, I don't think are hard to find, because I have the default one. I have 3. Oh, I have a Deadpool Bob Ross as well. I have the Deadpool one. But yeah. Anyway, the best one though is just him in his default shirt and pant with his palette. That's the best one, in my opinion. Lord Krabby, to be honest, if there is a sci-fi world, I would live in the Mega Man universe, especially the Mega Man 10 universe. Reploids sounds awesome as a concept, plus an upgrade to scale walls sound effing cool. Yeah, for sure. Doomslayer, are you familiar with XCOM? Yes, I am. I'm about the same age as you, and after being spanked by my 6-year-old at Halo, not interested in that. But XCOM is half management and half squad tactic. Yeah, XCOM, yeah. I'm very familiar with XCOM. I used to play the original XCOM. Played Terror in the Deep. Didn't play XCOM Apocalypse. And there was another one after that. Played the hell out of those. Even played those on the console. The first PlayStation had XCOM, and even the wife got into that one. And yeah, we used to just play the shit out of XCOM. And then the new iteration of XCOM came out. Loved it. Loved the smoother gameplay. Loved it. Of course, played the original Chaos Gate, which was a direct translation of the engine for XCOM. Chaos Gate was fantastic. Loved it because it was Warhammer 40,000. Sure, it's a bunch of Ultramarines running around killing Chaos dudes, but how can you not love as soon as Khorne berserkers start charging at you and all they are screaming is blood for the blood god as they're doing it? What's not to love there? I mean, yeah, fucking great. Love Chaos Gate. And then, of course, Chaos Gate's coming out again, but it's Demon Hunter, it's Grey Knights, and stuff like that. But it looks like it's again using that XCOM engine, so should be pretty good. I'm hopeful that Chaos Gate, the new version of it, is pretty darn good. It should flow pretty well, and yeah. But XCOM, yeah, I like XCOMs. XCOMs are fun. Doomslayer, there's a 40k XCOM style coming out soon-ish. Yeah, Demon Hunter. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I've been watching that one. I keep my finger on the pulse of a lot of stuff. So yeah. Again, I'm a big nerd. I don't go anywhere. The last 2 years, since fucking COVID and everything like that, I mean, like I don't go anywhere. So I'm pretty up on a lot of this shit. Kim, I did find the Brotherhood of the Snake book a bit too descriptive and long. Not my kind of 40k book, but I still finished it. Interesting. Aaron Seach, Kris is like Clark Griswold when he goes to Europe, trying to get a hotel room clerk speaking English and was whipping out the pocket translator. I wasn't quite that bad, but I was pretty close, especially to the UK Bubbles guy. He was saying a bunch of stuff to me, man. I had no idea. And I know he was speaking English because I was catching syllables that were recognizable, but I did not understand what this man was saying to me. And I was like, here's money. You have money, sir. And then he said something back to me, and I was like, I'll take the change, sir. Thank you. And I went about my day. And yeah, it was... yeah. It was very memorable. It's very memorable. Doomslayer. I went to GW to tell them what's up with Contrast. See, companies pay you to take their stuff. Yeah. Well, no, I was invited. I mean, like, I realized that, you know, they invited me because at the time I was part of Mini Wargaming, and so, you know, that's why, you know, got that invite and everything like that. You know, again, really grateful, you know, and yeah, I mean, like, honestly, I have been like, Games Workshop has been a big part of my hobby life since I was 13. 88. So you can guess how old I am by that point. And yeah, I mean, like, I was always, you know, a big fan of a lot of the stuff that Games Workshop produced. You know, can I be critical of what they do? Yes, of course I can. There's a lot of things that I think, you know, I would like to see that they don't do, you know, but that's of any brand or whatever, right? So anyway, yeah, it was really great that they invited me, and, you know, if they invited me again, I mean, like, yeah, I would jump on it immediately. I don't really see them sending an invite anytime soon about anything, especially since I think right now that they're shut down. Like, I don't even think they can go into the physical office right now. So, but anyway, yeah, it was great fun, and yeah, you know, again, if I could have told that 13-year-old kid who was just getting into all this stuff that one day these guys, they're gonna, you know, they're gonna send a plane ticket for you and, you know, invite you to come and, you know, check out this brand new thing that will change the landscape of the hobby, because contrast paint did change the landscape, even though there were approximates of it before and there's been imitators since. But yeah, it did change the landscape of how we paint our miniatures. I mean, we are, what, 2 years now playing with contrast paints, and yeah, it has changed the way we paint miniatures. Was it a revolution? Is it revolutionary? Not really. I mean, many of us who are very familiar with painting were using very similar products to do very similar things, but it was nice that Games Workshop finally did a product that addressed and made things just a little bit easier for people who are not that experienced at painting, you know. So yeah, it changed the game. It changed the game, and I'm proud of the fact that I was there at that moment. I was there, you know, when Isildur failed to throw the ring in. Gelby, Halo books are way better than the games, to be honest. Yeah? I'll take your word for it. Again, you know, you gotta, if you're really gonna try and convince me to get into Halo, you have to throw some convincing arguments my way. Again, I'm very skeptical, so. Doomslayer, Chaos Gate. I'll check the older one. Thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, I don't know if, apparently, what's that company? GOG? Apparently they offer Chaos Gate and it'll work on, like, current Windows computers. Apparently. I could be wrong about that, but yeah. Check it out though. It's a direct port of XCOM, the classic XCOM. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It has a great soundtrack. The graphics, it's comparable to XCOM. It's 2D pixel art. The soundtrack's great. Voice acting, they could have used a bit more variation in things, but, you know, again, every time bloodthirsters, every time corn berserkers come chasing after you, yeah, blood for the blood god, and you hear them, and they're charging at you. Yeah, it's great. You're like, holy shit, hopefully I set Overwatch, and then, you know, you start shooting at them. You know, yeah, you get it. Trencher 75, hey, Gelby, what do you think of White Scars? What do I think of them? They're Space Marines who have this Mongolian steppes warrior vibe going on. That's about it. They're Space Marines. This might sound a tad racist, But here we are. Oh, wait, geez Louise. Space Marines, kind of all the same to me.
Wassa cold sweat smile. Have a great weekend, y'all.
Thank you, Leonid, for the super chat. Cold sweat. It's cold sweat. Thank you, Leonid, for the super chat. And you have a great weekend as well. Yeah. Where was I in this? Yeah, the White Scars. Yeah, Space Marines, all the same to me. Space Marines are all the same to me. As far as things that I really enjoy about Warhammer 40,000, Space Marines are fairly low on that scale. Now, do I imagine myself in a vast suit of armor, wielding a massive machine gun that just blows apart my enemies, and fighting on distant worlds and, crazy scenarios against all odds and blah, 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 blah? Sure, why not? I mean, it's a Superman fantasy. I mean, it's, what young men don't have those kinds of fantasies of being super heroic and massive, can take in, fight against all odds, right? So it's not terribly a stretch to, that still appeals to me. But otherwise, as far as the miniatures and the game, Space Marines can fuck off. Enough with the fucking Space Marines. Give us other shit. I want my Eldar. Where are my Eldar? God damn it, Games Workshop. No, I was just talking Games Workshop up a little bit. I want my damn Eldar. Where's my damn Eldar? Oh, it's not a watch. Where's my Eldar? Anyway. Doomslayer. I'm teasing, bro. Happy to see good stuff happening to good people. Cool experience. To quote the prophet Kanye. Jesus. My life is dope and I do dope stuff. Kanye West. The prophet Kanye. Oh my lord. Trencher 75. It's a revolution for us painters that suck. Well, it kind of is. It kind of is. Again, because it's a wonderful product that makes life just a little bit easier. But unfortunately, as you get deeper into miniature painting, the contrast method can conflict with the traditional method because you're operating with two different color wheels and color theories. And not that the colors themselves are an issue, but it's the procedures in which we lay the color on the surface and create our final effects. It is two different methodologies involved, and that can confuse some people. So that's the only thing. But I mean, if your goal is just simply to get your models painted, start playing games, yeah, contrast, really great way to get it done. Gelby, Zurpami Cup Kwasi. Oh fucking hell! That's not even what fucking language is that? Okay, you got me, Gel. You got me. You got me, man. You got me. Trencher 75. Contrast helped me painting faces for sure. Yeah. Contrast is a pathway to many abilities, some considered to be unnatural. Doomslayer. Contrast seems like a good product for noobs. I wish I was just happy with that, but I'm here putting my 8th and 9th color on my 38 cultists, wondering why I have so little time to play. Yeah. And contrast, I mean, like, again, yeah, in employing contrast paints to just simply get your models painted for tabletop. But if you are the kind of person that likes to take pride in your work, or you're often bombarded by others because they know that you can paint well. And so if you showed up with just straight up tabletop models, everybody would be like, is that it? That's all you did? You just slapped some paint? Like, you know what I mean? And you get a bunch of criticism from people who know that you can paint really well, but you just wanted to get the shit done. You know what I mean? And it doesn't seem like it's pressure, but it is pressure. Especially if you if you lean very artistic, right? Not autistic, artistic. And yeah, it can kind of weigh a bit on you, you know? when your friends and colleagues and people you play with and everything like that, and it's like, that's what you painted. Like, usually you just painted this. I just saw your Instagram and you painted this and it looks freaking beautiful, and you just got like 500 cultists here and they all look like you just slapped some contrast, but one layer of contrast paint down on them. What gives? You know what I mean? And so, it's kind of unfair, and it also weighs on your own brain when you're sitting down to paint miniatures and you got a whole bunch of them done. You just want to get them done, and so you can play with them, feel them on tabletop so they look cool, right? And so there's certain aspects that you kind of have to just, you cut, and, time, when time is the factor, and effort, you kind of just, you got to cut yourself some slack. And where I think it'll help a lot of you out there who are in that situation, stop caring what other people think of your work. Because a lot of times people who are of artistic kind of bend, we do actively seek out validation for our work for whatever reason. And you basically have to just kind of say, fuck that. I'm going to paint my minis however I want, whatever way I want. And it does not matter what a single solitary person thinks about it. When you can reach that point in your life, you will be free. You'll be free. And I know many of you who are artists, who are aspiring artists, young artists, old artists, it doesn't matter. When you can adopt that kind of mentality and truly feel that in you, that you truly do not care what other people think about your work, you will be free. And in fact, you'll be so free that the art will start to create itself for you. And at every moment becomes fantastic and new. And it's really, really great when you can just free yourself from that concern of wanting validation from others, seeking it, looking for it. You'll be free. Anyway. Trencher75. Yes, I think people should learn to paint figures the traditional way first and then use contrast to cheat. I don't really think it's too much of a problem. I think it just really should be aware. If you start off in contrasts, and considering it a cheat, yeah and no. But I think I've shared my feelings on the idea of cheating in this hobby and in painting, and it doesn't exist. Cheating doesn't exist, and using the term cheat, it doesn't exist. It's a falsehood. It's not real. There is no cheating in this. There's efficiency and non-efficiency, and the goal should always be efficiency. If you want to get better at your painting, if you just want to play games but you want to have pretty looking models, well then yeah, just use contrast. Done. I mean, there's so many methods out there for getting your models painted and looking good. And then, of course, the big one is practice. But anyway, yeah. I think realistically with contrast, people who are just starting out, they should be made aware that if their goal is to become better at painting and they start off using contrast, that there is a shift in how you apply color and how you think about how you're laying the paint on a surface. That does do a shift. There is a shift there. So, yeah. Trencher, I am a wargamer first, but I hate not playing with painted figures, and with contrast, my Mordenheim group finally managed to uphold the no painted, unpainted figure rule. Contrast paint is a godsend to us casuals. That said, it's more fun painting the traditional way, especially natural creatures. Sure. Yeah, I mean, again, paint your model. Again, paint your models however you want, in whatever way you want, using whatever paints you want, using whatever brushes you want. Paint them however you want. But yeah, freedom, right? When you no longer care what other people think about your work, you are truly free. You are free. Terracotta. I use contrast on the troops, but take the training wheels off for the characters. Take the training wheels off. Again, I mean, I love contrast paints for just getting shit done, and for the nuance that it offers as well. When I was invited to the headquarters, I had a chance to speak with the guy who, you know, is in charge of making the colors and, you know, how and formulations and stuff like that. And I said, this is really, really great stuff, and I'm glad Games Workshop is finally doing something like this, putting a product like this out there. But at the time I told him, I said it should finish with a gloss. It shouldn't finish slightly matte. It should finish gloss, because you can always matte it down, but finishing gloss will give you the best saturation, the best results, because it's hard to go from a matte and make it look glossy as opposed to being glossy and make it look matte, right? It's easier for that conversion. But anyway. Where the hell am I? Sergeant Shamrock. There's a name I haven't read in a while. I need to be free from the grips of the daily grind. Hi, Kris. Hi. Yeah, the daily grind. Yeah. That one, it's kind of a similar thing. When you kind of stop caring what other people think. I mean, like, you just knuckle down and do your own work, and you don't get involved with, you know, drama with others. It can make you seem a little disconnected from others, but, I mean, you don't want that shit in your life. You know what I mean? But yeah. Kim, if you go to Instagram and see the barbarians I use contrast paints for several things on them. Cool, yeah. Doomslayer, I wish I cared what other people thought, but it's like, it's me that's like, I know the captain in Gravis Armors is missing half of his ass cape. I'm very susceptible to once you see it feelings. Yeah. Lord Krabby is sending me a bunch of stuff right now. Holy shit. Gail B, one word for you. Hubbard gubla gubla duh. You're making this shit up. Okay, Lord Krabby, I get it. Stop. Wait till later. There'll always be later. We'll always have Paris. Legion, Kris, while playing 40k, there is no cheating, only efficiency. Yes, there is no cheating. Well, in 40k, playing 40k, there is no cheating, only efficiency. Yeah, I mean, in gameplay, that's different. Gameplay and painting are not the same thing. You can apply theory to both that is similar, but yeah. I know, I realize you're making a joke, but yeah. In painting, I don't believe in cheating. In gameplay, yeah, you can cheat. But playing a game and painting are not the same thing. For the most part. Leonid, spray paint is better than no paint. Yes, definitely, 100%. Even if it's just colored spray and you throw shade wash on, pick out the eyeballs, do the base, done. Yeah. You know, like, imagine, you know, ultramarines, right? You buy McCraig spray paint, or even just any ultramarine paint blue, like ultramarine blue paint. Spray them, do the base, pick out the eyeballs, throw the transfers on, you're done. Maybe pick out metal bits, you know, whatever. You're done. You don't even have to shade wash it. Just flat color. And in fact, you know, I've recommended many, many times for a lot of people who are brand new to this hobby, don't worry about doing highlights, doing shadows, you know, this and that, these lighting effects, and, you know, doing non-metallic metal and OSL, and don't worry about these things, especially when you're brand new. Just concentrate on working very neatly on your models. Kind of like a coloring book, staying within the lines, right? Just work on staying within the lines. Just lay. If it's a blood angel, just paint the red, pick out the little white bits, pick out the little black bits, pick out the little metal bits, right? Do the base, done, right? And it'll look fantastic on the table, especially when you have 500 of them on the tabletop. You know, it'll look fantastic. Don't worry about it, you know? But yeah. Old Man Logan, there he is. It may be my experience, but I have found that when I use contrast medium with contrast paints, they finish glossy. It's a semi-gloss. It's not a full gloss, at least from what I've seen. As long as are you properly mixing your contrast medium? But yeah, no, contrast medium. I've always found it's a semi-gloss. It's not a full gloss. It's not like art coat, you know. But again, I mean, like, yeah, because regular contrast paints on its own finishes very low semi-gloss. It almost finishes matte, but it's not quite a matte. It still has a little bit of a sheen to it. But yeah, and that was my one recommendation when we were all there, and they had a whole bunch of us painters there, which was really great to meet whole bunch of them. You know, getting to meet like Richard Gray and Sam Lenz and Ben Comet and Pete the Wargamer and Tyler Mangle and what I mean, like a whole bunch of these cats. Got to meet them. Fantastic bunch of great dudes. Had a blast. We got to enjoy a lot of meals together and have drinks and get to talk to these guys, and it was a lot of fun. Andy Wardle, that was another one, and Henry Steele. Yeah. Cult of Paint? Yeah, Cult of Paint. Yeah, it was really great meeting all those guys. Yeah. A lot of them I wasn't that familiar with. More or less by reputation, I suppose. To be honest, before even meeting him, I was not that familiar with like Richard Gray or Andy. I mean, I realized that, they're award-winning painters, but I don't really follow competition painting, so, I don't, it's not like, I was, oh, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? Like, I treat them like I treat anybody. Hi, how's it going? I shake a hand, and how do you do? That's about it. But it was really nice talking to them, and of course, seeing them again at like Adepticon and stuff like that. Yeah, it was great talking to them. It was nice catching up, and yeah, again, really good dudes. Everybody's pretty good. I don't even know where the hell I am in these comments anymore. What time is it? That can't be the time. I've been streaming for an hour and a half already. Okay, I've been losing time. Am I in some sort of time loop? I've been losing time. Have I been staring at the camera blankly? Have I? It's a little concerning for me. Trencher75, what have you been painting lately? And a related question, what do you like painting? I like painting all sorts of stuff. Mostly like 40K type stuff, but with a lot of the latest Age of Sigmar stuff, I've been really enjoying it. Speaking of Age of Sigmar stuff, I've been working on this guy here, the new Dragon Duder. Let's see. I struggled quite a bit actually with this guy. Just wasn't quite going in all the directions that I quite wanted to go. But yeah. But this guy's fun. I like the big scar up his side and everything like that. It's a lot of fun. I'm working on my Deepkin. I actually started working on them again. And of course I've been also working on the Gator Pig from the Cruel Boys. And I've been working on this thing. His head's missing because, But I've been working on this on the Getting Projects Done stream. I have been streaming the progress of that. We've been taking our time with that. We've just been, having fun, enjoying the process. It's got tons of lovely little details all over. It's a lot of fun. Been having fun. Been enjoying it. Not going to lie. A lot of Age of Sigmar. The model's just so much fun. They're far more interesting than what I'm seeing out of Games Workshop on the 40K side of things. Aside from Necrons. And some of the new Orc stuff. The Squigs. The Squigs are a lot of fun. New Necron stuff is it's kick-ass. So, yeah. But Age of Sigmar. It seems like every Age of Sigmar release, even with these new dragons, right? Oh yeah, the other dragons are available too. The like Pegasus Rider type dudes. No, not Pegasus, but Dragon Riders. You know what I mean. Damn it. But yeah, a lot of fun. Where the hell am I? You know what? Here, let's have a quick look over at the G-Dub side of things. Anyway, since we're just fucking talking about it anyway. Here, where am I? Yeah. So, what the hell's this guy called? I don't even know what this model's called. Crondiz? Son of Dracothian. It's a mouthful. Yeah, I like this guy. I was considering doing something similar to this, but then I thought, nah, it's already been done. Then I saw this guy, and I was like, yeah, this guy's really cool. I like this guy. And so I did this guy. But yeah, do something a little bit different. Yeah, it's a big kit. It's a big model. It's a lot of fun. I like it. But anyway, oh, page ain't working. Nice. There we go. No, don't want that. Yeah, so what do we got? Yeah, these guys. These Storm Drake Guard. Yeah, GW sent me these guys as well. Box of these guys. Will I get to them anytime soon? Maybe. They're really, really cool. The big Stormcast duders on them. They're cool looking models. But yeah. So many models, so little time. Ooh, what's we got? Some Blood Bowl. Oh, they're right, the Dungeon Bowl. Yeah, Dungeon Bowl. Some Necromunda shit. Oh, the market. Oh, right, these new Ganger Duders. Yeah. Civvies. These look like civvies, but they're not civvies. No longer available. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I burped, everybody. I know, rude. Yeah, I like these dudes. I kind of wish they would do more civvies. Like, more civilians. Because then you can use them in, like, regular 40k games, right? For, like, objectives and, you know, saving the town folk and, you know what I mean? Just fun scenario type stuff, right? Yeah, I like this thing. This is fun. I realize, like, it's, you know, it's pretty straightforward, but... Oh, there's even little mugs. What do you know? They're little footballs. Yeah, the market. It's just a fun idea, you know? I like it. And it provides a little setting for... oh, look at that. A bolter keyring thing. Hey, that's kind of cool. Wonder how small that is. It's probably pretty small. Not gonna lie. I get butt plug vibes from this. Oh, there's a whole bunch. Oh, there's even little grenades. Little symbol of corn. Purity seals. Sigmar. Ultramarines. Action figures. Oh, this is just action figures. What the fuck? I wonder how big it is, though. I imagine it's probably small. It's butt plug size. Yeah, everybody out there's like, yes, Kris, I know, butt plug stuff. We get it. You're into butt stuff. Black Templar Parade Ready Bundle. Oh, just everything you need to paint Black Templar. That's cool. Yeah. New books. Forges of March. Yeah. Okay. Mars. Forges of March. It's the Forges of March. Come on, man. Get with it. Oh, shit. Where the hell am I? The Barfing Sheep. I have been living deep under a rock. Why haven't I seen the Dragon Boys? I don't know. Because you haven't been staying with it, man. Haven't been staying with it. Sid Tyler. The market stalls are cool, but I lost interest in Necromunda years ago. Yeah? What? Where did they lose you? Where did they lose you, Necromunda? I'm just curious myself because I mean, like, you know, I've been a big fan of Necromunda for many years since, you know, Necromunda first came out. I played Ratskins way back in the day. I know, shock. Kris playing Ratskins, really? Why would you play Ratskins? But anyway, yeah, I used to enjoy the Ratskins. But yeah, I'm curious though, like why did you lose interest in Necromunda? Because Necromunda is such an involved game. You know, it has a low cost of entry, and it offers so much gameplay and so much time that you can lovingly spend on your own models, converting and changing, and, you know, as time moves forward, you know what I mean? Like, you lose guys, you gain guys get stronger, weaker, you know? It's a lot of fun. There's so much Necromunda that the gameplay itself has to offer that, you know, usually anybody who's a big fan of Necromunda, they're usually lifers. It's kind of like, to borrow a joke, it's kind of like Slayer fans. You know, Slayer fans are fans of Slayer there's nobody who was like, yeah, I was, just a little bit into Slayer back in the day, I was into Slayer that one summer, right? No, it's you're either a Slayer fan or you're not, You're either a Necromunda fan or you're not. I know, I realize it's a very absolute kind of view of it, but, yeah. Trencher 75, I think those guys could be villagers or tough guys from most Imperial cities. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Jabba's left nut. We all know Kris is pegging curious. Now, on the receiving end or the dealing end? The dealing end? That's not the term, is it? Kevin Cabal, the new minis are just plain cool. Yeah. Yeah. Really, really cool stuff. Sid Tyler, well, I kind of lost interest in it all for a few years, to be fair, due to personal stuff. Right, okay, well, I mean, so it wasn't just Necromunda, but it was all the hobby stuff that you were leaving because, you had to take care of other stuff. Yeah, I get that. That's it's happened to me many times. There's been many breaks. I've been in this hobby a long time, but I've also had a lot of breaks. And even when I was in high school, I took a lot of breaks. Again, usually when you're between girlfriends kind of thing, but yeah. Anyway. Sid Tyler, sold all my 40K stuff besides my Tau too. Yeah. Well, again, when you're taking a break, sometimes, the inclination is to just purge it, get rid of it, Because again, it's not like a lot of the stuff appreciates, right? It all depreciates, right? Because if you buy a brand new box, say, buying this new dragon, as soon as you buy it, its value starts to go down. It doesn't go up, it goes down, right? And once you paint it, its value can go back up, but only to a certain group. Its value goes up. Sometimes it goes down because some people are looking for that kit on the cheap to do their own thing too, right? So, it all depends, right? It's very, 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 very wild in which way the pendulum swings in this regard. But yeah, but I've been there, man. I've been there. I feel you. I know. There's times where you just want to say, fuck it, and just pack it all up. Sometimes, yeah. And if I did that right now, man, I've got so much crap on my shelves. It just feels like crap. It's just like, it's crap. Some stuff I may never get to. A lot of my War Machine stuff. I have a bunch of War Machine stuff. I've got Gators. I've got boxes of Gators of stuff, from Hordes. I'm probably never going to get to now because I don't play it anymore. And that was really the big factor in a lot of my enthusiasm for Warma Hordes was playing. I really enjoyed playing the game. The models, yeah, were all right. They were getting a lot better way back, 10 years ago almost. But, yeah. Now, who knows, right? Who knows? I mean, I realize that it's still going strong, but yeah, they lost me. Where the hell am I? Doomslayer. What's a rat skin? Skaven related? No. Watching end? No. Ratskin? Ratskins are humans in Necromunda. They are, if you're familiar with how a hive world is supposed to look like, there's diagrams of cross sections of what a hive world or a hive on a hive world and what it looks like. And ratskins were at the very bottom, below the hive, like basically where the hive meets the planet's crust, kind of thing, right? And that's where ratskins existed. Basically, they had a very Native American type of vibe to them, and they had benefits and they had weaknesses, and yeah, so. Really, the big one for ratskins in the campaign, the big one was starving. Starving out was actually a very big concern. It's kind of like real life, really. But yeah, ratskins. Yeah, they were a faction in Necromunda you could play. And they were a lot of fun. I had fun. I used to annoy the shit out of everybody, but. Sometimes annoying the shit out of everybody is kind of my thing. That's why I do this stream. Jobs left nut, you're a taker. I'm the bottom. Barfing Sheep. I have a strange but doable idea. Doable. What if the monkeys painted a small model they can spare to ship away to Kris, and we'll have a physical representation of us? That kind of is what, a few of you have done through the years. Like one of my favorites, I can't quite grab it right now, but it's on my Instagram. Someone had done a Space Marine. He's a White Scar. He's wearing the Way of the Brush shirt. I think it's this shirt, actually. Is it? No, it's just a regular black shirt, but it's got the Way of the Brush logo, this logo. And he's got like the top knot, and he's just kind of like walking down the street. It's a fantastic conversion. It's fantastic. That's right, because I was giving away... What was I? I was giving away something. I was doing a giveaway, and somebody had to put the Way of the Brush shirt on a Space Marine. That was it. And it could have been the cardboard cutout, the Space Marine statues at Warhammer World, but it was Raziel, I believe it was Raziel, who had sent me the conversion. And I was like, wow, this is fucking fantastic. And so I had to send him something because it really wasn't in the guidelines for the competition or for the contest, giveaway, whatever. But I had to send him something because it's so good. Yeah, if you scroll through my Instagram, you'll see it, and it's fun. It's good, and it's good work, and it's a good conversion, and it's so comical. Like, I could easily have that conversion in other photos. I'd like to have it kind of in the background of battle reports and stuff, just fucking strolling along. You know? It's very lighthearted, and it's got a good deal of humor that I like. So yeah, I like it. It's one of my prized possessions. I have very few. I'm not a man who... I can't say I hoard shit, because if you look at my offices, they're fucking buried and shit. But there are very few things in my possession that I truly cherish, and that conversion is one of them. The other one is Dark Commission sent me the bust of a Pontiac warrior, or is it supposed to be Pontiac? I can't remember if it's supposed to be Pontiac but yeah, that's another prized possession. So yeah, it'll always be cherished. But I mean, yeah, somebody sends a conversion of themselves into a Space Marine or from another game system or whatever. Yeah, if you want, I'll show it off. Definitely. It doesn't have to be award-winning paint job or conversion or anything like that. Just has to have you. That's about it. It's the only thing I really give a shit about anyway. Anyway, yeah. It's a fun idea, Barfing. It's a fun idea. It gets a little expensive, though, if I've got to send out prizes, though, for everybody who sends me one. Sophie, real life does tend to get in the way of the hobby. Yeah, definitely. But see, the thing is, with real life, you got to deal with it, because then you can't enjoy your hobby time. Because your hobby time, right, is supposed to be your time for recollecting yourself, recentering yourself, and, enjoying life, right? We should be enjoying life. I realize that many of us do not get to enjoy life, and it seems very hard. And so when we're looking forward to our hobby time, you want to go into it with a clear head, clear conscience, clear, nothing, no monkeys on your back kind of thing, right? And so we got to deal with real life. So you got to deal with that shit. You have to. Family, work, school, whatever, right? You got to deal with it. But that's okay, because your reward to yourself is your hobby time. Getting down to sit down, I took care of this. Yeah. Family, my little brother, sister. Yeah, I helped them with their homework, Oh, no, I got to drive my grandma over here, you know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah, work. I got to work an extra shift this week, and, just all these kind of things, right? But then at the end of it, and you've got a few hours on a Sunday or Monday night or whatever, you sit down, do some assembly, do a little bit of base coating. Maybe I got some bases to finish. Maybe I got some shadows to lay down. Whatever it is, just sit down and just enjoy yourself. Once you've taken care of real life. But you do need to take care of real life first. Real life is first. Then this stuff. Kim, a rat skin in the humans that grow up underground in tunnels of Necromunda, so lightly mutated humans. No, I laugh. Do I have my old book? I have the old Necromunda rulebook. Oh no, that's the Big Bible. Yeah, I have the Big Bible. It's buried under a bunch of other books, but I have the Necromunda Big Bible. That was because the original book, and then they had the expansion, Outlanders. But then they had the Big Bible come out, and it was a compilation of all the books. And so I have that book, and it has like the background for the Ratskins. And the Ratskins, it was kind of funny because they allude to kind of the Native American idea that the Ratskins are the original colonists, ironically, of Necromunda, the planet. And they're like the first colonists that set up, the terraforming on the planet and everything like that. And so they basically have, lived more of a primitive lifestyle in comparison to the rest of the hive, right? And so they exist in this slightly more primitive type state, and anyway, it's a fun idea, But I mean, like, you could kind of have rat skins being on almost any imperial world, right, where they're supposed to be descended from the first people to settle the world, right? Anyway, it's just a fun idea. Sid Tyler, I'm mad because I had a lot of Dark Eldar metal characters and stuff, and I can't get them anymore. Saw the Metal Lilith on eBay for over 100. Metal Archon, Succubus, etc. Beastmaster and Beast. Right. Yeah, the Beastmaster and Beast, I can imagine that's pricey. They got to come up with a low-cost option for that unit in the game. Like, make it in plastic or what have you. But yeah. You know what? Let's head over to Instagram. I'll just double check these comments here. Where am I here? Sophie, I will agree with the term of pile of shame. It should be a pile of opportunities. Just because you're not built or painted them yet is okay. An idea for conversion and diorama might come along. Yes, 100%. I'm sure you've probably heard me mention this before, Sophie. But yeah, there's many concepts that float around in this sphere of wargaming and miniature painting. I don't believe in cheating. That's not a thing. And pile of shame, I don't believe in that either. I don't believe in the pile of shame. The only reason that you would feel shame in any of this, as far as, collecting your models and, what have you, the only reason is financially it's a burden to stay within this hobby and what have you when your resources are needed elsewhere, and here you are spending hundreds of dollars on a model that you really can't afford, then yes, shame may enter the picture. But if you have piles and piles of boxes behind you and your bills are paid and life is good and family, spouses, whatever, everything's fine, then it's not a pile of shame. It's not a pile of shame, because you'll get to it eventually. Or maybe you won't. Doesn't matter. Sometimes the act of purchasing it is its own relief and moment of joy. And so what's wrong with that? So it's not shame. It's not a pile of shame. Because eventually, yeah, you will get to it. Maybe. Who knows? But it's there when one day you might want to work on it. Or maybe you'll say, you know what, maybe I'm not going to get to it. I really enjoyed it. I had it in my possession for a while. It brought me some joy. But I think it's better it goes elsewhere. And so you sell it off to somebody. Maybe you sell it off to them cheap, maybe add value, or maybe it somehow appreciated in value, and you sell it for more, right? So there's all these options. But as far as the pile of shame is concerned, I don't believe in it. No. The only reason that it can even be equated to that is if you can't afford it. And if you can't afford it, then you shouldn't be doing this. Again, it's a hobby. Hobbies are luxury, right? Hobbies are luxury. Real life first. Real life first. So, yeah. But I'm sure we've talked about that many times. So I don't believe in the pile of shame. I don't believe in hobby cheating. I don't, there's many of these very common expressions that I feel, I don't know how they came to be, but they're not real, they're not realistic, and they're not an accurate portrayal of what we actually go through as hobbyists, as artists, as miniature painters, as wargamers, what have you, right? So, yeah. Anyway, but that's just my 2 cents. Trencher75, that's interesting. They might have a culture ranging back to the Men of Iron. Right, exactly. Yeah, it's again, it's just a play on First Nations people of North America, but it's kind of fun. I could grab the book and read it to you guys, but actually maybe I'd probably get in shit for that. I don't know, but get slapped with a copyright thing or something, you know. But anyway. Doomslayer. Kris, were you a Shadowrun fan then, Kris? Yes. Yeah, a little bit. Mr. Kavoshi, there he is. Hey, Kris, joined the stream late. Hope you are having a good time. I'm sure people are asking you already, but how do you feel about GW holiday boxes? Holiday boxes. What do we mean by holiday boxes? Like bundles? Holiday boxes. I'm not sure what we mean by holiday boxes. Are we talking about like the army boxes? I think usually the army boxes are pretty good deals. Usually, which has not always been a thing for them to be a deal. Getting deals out of GW has always been dubious at the best, you know? So, yeah, it's kind of nice when, you know, you get an opportunity to you know, save $1 or $2, you know. But again, it's a luxury thing. And, you know, again, like if these prices bother you, honestly, if they bother you, then don't pay it. Don't pay it. You know? Instead of just sitting there, you know, bitching about the price of GW models, don't buy it. Just don't buy it. You know? Or are we talking about like this Strike Force Ice Fang? It's like a bundle. I don't know, I'm looking at it here. Comes with that stupid dreadnought thing that's wide open. I don't know why. Like it seems like somebody on the design team for Space Marines and 40K. It seems like somebody on the design team thought, yeah, those walker things from the Matrix, the 3rd movie, those are really cool. Space Marines should have those. Yeah, okay. Again, a lot of things in 40K are bored, just like a lot of other sci-fi properties, you know, bore shit, right? So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I Mr. Kavoshi, I'm afraid I need a little bit of clarification on what is a GW holiday box. I'm not 100% sure. Kim, I've done all those Carl Jericho books, and it's a lot about rat skins in those. Oh, really? I've never read any of those novels. Any of the Necromunda novels, I've never read. So, really, point me towards some of those novels. I'll put them on my list. Maybe I'll have to pick them up. Sophie, wow, totally agree with you, Kris. I've enough minis and Tamiya Airfix Revel kits to last 10 years, and I still get more when I can. Yeah, you know, yeah, do it. I mean, if it brings you a little bit of happiness and you're like, yeah, I can't wait to get to it. I have a whole bunch of Bandai Star Wars kits. I have a whole bunch of those damn kits. And I was super fired up to buy them, and I was super happy to get them, and I was super happy to do a few of them, but somewhere along the line, I just fell out of step of getting them done. And, you know, yeah, because I think also the other thing is that I don't really have a lot of room to display all my Star Wars models. And, yeah, because I still have an unfinished A-Wing and a 148 Snowspeeder I've still got to finish. I don't even have paint on them. Yeah, but anyway. Doomslayer, or if you stole it. Right. I don't advocate that, but yeah. Sid Tyler, yeah, my hobby was definitely buying stuff. It seems like LMAO, I had tons of Dark Eldar, Harlequins, Tyranids, odds and ends for other armies. I know that for a fact that the DE went to a good home. Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, you don't have to be precious about it either. I mean, I'm pretty precious about some of my things in my Eldar collection, like my Phantom Titan. That's a classic. That's like a classic Corvette. You know, it's like a 67 Corvette. I'm not going to sell it. That's probably the last thing in my Eldar I would sell. But like the first thing I'd probably sell in my Eldar collection is like current models. The Eldar Seer Council. I have a Seer Council on Jet Bike. I have 10 Warlocks and a Farseer. If I was convinced to sell it, yeah, I'd probably sell it. Probably sell it for oof. They're $45 Canadian a piece. So it's $450 for that unit. That's an expensive unit to buy. $450. Painted? Yeah, it's at least $1,200. I'd have to sell it for at least $1,200. Yeah. Anyway. Doomslayer. Oh, says Tyler. Because the same guy bought them all and kept messaging me asking if I had more. Oh. Doomslayer, pile of shame, especially from another hobbyist or friendly local gaming store. Yeah. Kim, the Battle Force boxes they do now before Christmas is great value. Yeah, I didn't really see any, but yeah. Doomslayer, can you help me with some business, Kris? These 38 cultists I have here are painted with the 4 chaos colors and practical leathers and black and white. Need colors to dry brush and then wash to tie them together. Okay, so you have the 4 chaos colors, practical leathers, and black and white. Need colors to dry brush and wash them to tie them together. Okay, so you want a quick way. So you're laying the colors down. You have a little bit of leathers and you have some little bit of black and whites. And you want something you can dry brush. So you want one color to dry brush them, to rule them all kind of thing. Okay, well, here's a really fast way. Okay, if you're outside of contrast paint, so you don't have any contrast paints, but you want to do it with regular opaque colors, and you're laying regular opaque colors down, you're blocking in all the areas. Perfectly fine, acceptable way to go about it. You could take a color like Ushabti Bone, an off-white. You could even take something like a light gray, Administratum gray, Uthran gray. Uthran gray is pretty light. You can pick one of those two light colors. Give the entirety of the model a very, very light dry brushing, just to catch edges and such. And then hit it with a color like Agrax Earthshade. Thin it down a bit and apply it to the entirety of the model. Even the blue areas, red areas, yellow areas, black, white, whatever. And that will unify the entire paint job and will also give the model a bit of weathering and, make it dirty feeling and, grimy, that kind of thing. And then you just finish off the base and you're done. And GW makes a bunch of technicals that make it real easy to just kind of slap some texture down and there you go, right? That's a fast and dirty way to get a whole bunch of those little guys done, especially if you're using like the 4 colors. Yeah, you use a green, red, blue, pink, whatever, right? Yeah, you can use something like Ushabti Bone. Screaming Skull's a little bit light, but Screaming Skull will work too. And I'm talking a very, very light dry brush. Very, very light. Very, very minimal color on the paintbrush, and a very, very light brush stroke across the model surface, just to catch just those edges of stuff, and then give the entirety of the model a wash of Agrax Earthshade. I wouldn't use something like Null Oil. A warm tone like Agrax Earthshade, which when it's spread out gives you a nice bit of warmth, but also pushes very, very dark in shadows. And so basically that whole process, this is a very fast way of getting a miniature done. Is it award-winning? No, of course not. But you've got a bunch of them to do. That's going to get them done, and it's going to have a fairly good appearance on the model because it'll work on top of flesh tones, it'll work on top of solid tones, even cool colors, warm colors, black, white, even metallics. It'll even work on top of a metallic as long as you keep it very, very light, and then you hit it with the Agrax Earthshade. Yeah, that one color can work on top all of those colors, and even doing it once over on the entire thing, it harmonizes the entire scheme. So even models that have red and greens and blues and stuff like that, they'll feel a bit cohesive because they have a unifying process across them. They'll all feel like they're part of the same force, right? So yeah. Anyway. Oi, geez Louise. Thank you, Mr. Robost. Sound like I slipped a groove there. Thank you for the follow. Where the hell am I? Mr. Kavoshi, I was referring to the army bundles they release around this time for 40k and 80 yeah, I mean, the bundles, yeah, I don't have no idea. I'm still on the British side of things here. I'm going to click over to apparently nothing. Nice. Refresh the page. Canada, Spanglish. Thank you. $310 for the Strike Force Ice Fang. I have no idea if that's a deal. But you get like aggressors, the speeder, the dreadnought walker thingy, and looks like 10 marines on a character as well. Oh, it's 2 squads. 2 squads plus a character. Okay, well that's... Oh, it's probably the battle force. You probably get the battle force and aggressor in the thing for $310. You might be saving the cost of a character, I think. Yeah. You're saving about the cost of a character or one of the small squads, or the Reavers or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, it's a deal. It's not a great deal, but it's a deal. And in this day and age, you know, a lot of us, for whatever reason, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, all right, it's a deal. Just kind of beating over the head over this shit, eh? Kim. Carl Jericho books are on Audible. I don't do Audible. Come on, we've talked about this, man. I don't do Audibles. I prefer to read. My imagination is far more exciting than listening to a radio play. Sophie, wow, email time. It's coming up 2 hours, Kris. Holy shit, it's already... We're 2 hours and 3 minutes already. We're 3 minutes over time. I haven't even gotten Instagram yet. Jeez Louise. Doomslayer, you nailed your appraisal of the situation, and thanks for the advice. Yeah, no problem, dude. No problem. Okay, let's quickly do Instagram. I don't think there's too much on the Instagram side of things anyway. I don't have a theme song for Instagram, so... Instagram. There we go. That's about it. Oh, still on the Space Marines. There we go. Okay, we looked at all that, blah, 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 blah. First one, am I on the right window? Yeah, I am. First one is from our good buddy Kim. First 2 models from the new Dark Oath Savagers? Warband from Warcry. Let's make sure we give that a like. There we go. Nice and clean. I like it. I like the flash. Yeah. Oh, I like this one. Again, I really like your work on the flesh. Huh. This is like a Valkyrie warrior. It's pretty cool. I guess I have not really looked at these models. Oh, I like the leather here. I like how you did that leather. It goes from that dark brown up to the almost yellowy brown. I like that. Really nice work. Kevin Cabal. Reaper Miniatures, a familiar pack 8. Hedgehog in the sun. A cute little metal hedgehog. It's a metal hedgehog. There's a hedgehog in this picture? He's around 4 millimeters long. I decided he deserved a tiny garden to hang out in. He's part of a 6-piece pack of tiny critters from Reaper intended as familiars for your miniatures. Still thinking of a name for him. Painted with Vallejo Citadel paints and based with Woodland Scenics and Gamer Grass products. Make sure we give that a like. Oh, it's a hedgehog right in the middle. Wow, I didn't even see the little guy. I thought it was a pine cone. Look at that. He's a little fella. Look at him. He's a little wee guy. Little hedgehog. That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even see it. I think it's hilarious that he's a 4 millimeter size miniature. The definition of miniature. And he's on this gigantic base. How big is that base? Like 3 inches? It's bigger than 2 inches. Jeez Louise. He's on a gigantic base. It's just little wee hedgehog. I love it. It's awesome. Thank you, Kevin. Send that in. Or send it in, but tagging it. If you want me to have a look at your work on Instagram and provide a mild critique or just, show off what you're working on, use the hashtag #WayOfTheBrush right there. Way of the brush. Yeah, we were talking about this the other day. This is from Disco Duke, or Disco Mini Painter, as he's now referred to. Bit of a kit-bashed Knight of Shrouds on ethereal steed. Use the various bits and gubbins to add some more detail along with some materials supported with florist wire to add shape. All ready for priming and painting up. Yeah, we were talking about this because I think the last time Disco had his miniature, I think last episode we were talking about how he does this draped cloth. It almost looks like some sort of like nylon or fiberglass. It can't be fiberglass. It's too damn dangerous to work with. But anyway, yeah, how, I like what he's doing to add that extra texture onto the models. But I kind of wish that it flowed a bit more. You know how you get that sense of movement out of the sculpt itself? And so how you can, basically reclaim a bit of that. And so he's using the wire to achieve that. You can see it there underneath the cloth. I like it. I think it's a really nice, see, that looks way better. I'm not saying your previous efforts are crap, Disco. I'm just saying that this is definitely flows a lot better. Basically, you're working with the movement of the sculpt as opposed to introducing elements that, contradict the sense of movement. So I really like that. That's a really good move. Yeah, see, and it helps it so much more. I mean, obviously by adding more texture to the figure, but, yeah. I see. So you just super glue the wire down. And is it florist wire? Is that what you're using? Yeah, florist wire, yeah. Even in the photo, I realized that the florist wire is very, very thin. Like, it's really thin. But here in the photo, it looks pretty thick. It looks like, like power line cables. But, it's really, really thin. That's good stuff, man. This, oh, shit, this is somebody using the hashtag Way the Brush. I'm not getting, did I give Disco his like? Yeah, I did. Kevin Cabal, Reaper Miniatures, Dark Heaven, Legions, Nord, Kegbreaker. He's a Kegbreaker. Painted for a collector. Nord looks like he's just about to nod off after one too many pints. Painted with Vallejo Citadel products and based with Woodland Scenics and Gamer Grass products. Let's give that a like. Yeah, his freaking eyes are closed. Yeah, I like that. That's funny. Yeah, I like the paint job. I like to work on the flesh. I like the texture. Yeah, he definitely has had one too many. And call me crazy, but the end of that hammer, is that a butt plug? It's the question of the day, isn't it? Is it a butt plug? Make a whole video series on that. Just grab ordinary objects. But the question is it a butt plug? Now the drawing, giving this person some exposure anyway, right? Oh, we already did this one. Okay, so this last one was from Kim, yeah. Yeah, this is really cool. I love this color scheme he does for his Necrons. I love it. And I'm saying love here, people. Love it. His Necron color scheme is really good. I just love that light minty green along with the metals with the magenta. It's just a really nice combo. It has a very, what is that era that, like the 1950s refrigerators. And I did a Vansar tutorial a long time ago using a Vansar model. And my inspiration was that 1950s color palette, which kind of influenced the way I did my corpse grinders. Basically, it was kind of like that. It was going for that kind of, sensibility and color usage. But yeah. Shit, where am I here? Kim, they not released the Battle Force box yet. You need to go to Warhammer Community and find the article to see what's in them. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Kevin Ball, 40 millimeter hedgehog base. Yeah, 40 millimeter. That is a huge ass base for teeny tiny little duder. Yeah, it's kind of hilarious. All right, so we got through the Instagram real fast, so let's do an email. Let's just do this one here. If you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down, because here it comes. Email time. Email time. This one is from our good buddy Killer Whale. Hey Kris, this is Killer Whale of the DILF Colors. The DILF Colors? What? Just wanted to send you some of my latest stuff to hear your opinion about them. 2 Mechanicus guys for the tabletop and 1 Plague Marine that I was just dicking around with. DILF? The Plague Marine was my first foray into glazing as my main method of color buildup. If you can see it behind the grimdark enamel washes, so I'm pretty happy with it. Cheers. The Killer Whale. So let's have a look. It's Mechanicus Duder. Ooh. Yeah, so, okay, for example, to go back a couple steps, we were talking about basically just blocking in the color, a very, very light dry brush, and then just Agrax shade. And that would yield you a result somewhat similar to this. Now, this is obviously, he's very deliberate. He's applied color here and there and everything like that. But, yeah. I was looking at the metallics, and the metallics felt like you just kind of blocked it in and then just laid the shade wash and then, moved on, which is absolutely fine. Again, especially when we're painting for table. I like the base. I like the little flowers and everything. But yeah. Oh, he even did the screen. Really nice. Nice touch. Oh, this one feels a lot more controlled. Not to say the other one is out of control. It's just like it feels like your mastery over the color feels a little bit more tighter here. It's really good stuff. Yeah. Like the lines on the sword and everything feel a lot better here. They feel tighter and more controlled as opposed to on here. I guess they're pretty darn good here too. It's a lot on this sword as opposed to this sword. This sword doesn't feel like quite as many, and I think that works a bit better here. Ooh, Plague Marine. And we all know, old Kris is a big fan of the Neugel. The Neugel. Oh, it's the Toigels. Yeah, I like that. And you know what the fun part? Like Orcs, Nurgle, it's kind of hard to fuck up the paint job. Because even if the paint job is really, really fast and, haphazardly and messy, it still works for Nurgle. It still works for Orcs. I'm not saying that this is a messy paint job. I'm just saying, you don't have to worry about being so precise. I mean, it benefits from being precise, but you don't have to be with these. As opposed to like Eldar or Space Marines. You know what I mean? Like, a messy paint job looks really messy on a Space Marine or an Eldar or, any model that has like a lot of wide open surfaces. Or it doesn't fit within the theme, right? Like how often do you really see highly textured Space Marine armor or Eldar armor? You don't. They're often painted very, very clean edges and, things of that nature, right? Clean blends. But Nurgle, fuck, you can just have your way with it. Orcs, same thing. The more slapped on it looks, the more character it feels. And Nurgle's kind of the same way too. Just feels in character. Oh, is that it? That was the last picture? Yeah, I really like that. I like it. Nice color. Weathering. Yeah. I mean, and plus, too, I like Nurgle. I think the tongue probably could have come up a little bit brighter, just to really kind of draw the eye in. The same with the arm spike, the horn on the head and the arm. I think those could have gone a little bit brighter. But other than that, I mean, that's it. It works for me. Especially even just as it's like as a tabletop paint job. I mean, it works really, really well. Oh, I got another email. Okay. We got one more email. This one is from Legion. Make sure, yeah. Okay. Hi, Kris and Monkeys is a Drukhari mercenary. Hi, Kris and Monkeys. A second Drukhari mercenary is done this time with 100% more beard power. Beard power and pirate flair. Best regards from Germany. Legion Miniatures. So this is a mercenary. Oh. I am intrigued. It's not often you see elves with bionics. Not that it doesn't happen. I like the base too. I like that I get the mixed texture in there. Is that like a Necron foot? That's what it looks like. Yeah, I like it. I like the colors too. A little flame pattern on the thigh. Oh, I like how you incorporated the cloak's color into your blades. I don't know if those blades are metallics or you just, created a non-metallic look, but yeah. Oh, and he's got the Necron shoulder pad. I really like the color comment. I really like this color. The yellow armor with the burgundy cloak. Yeah, I really like this. Oh, and it's a hard purple on the other side. Yeah. But it's a dark purple. It's contrasty yellow, but it looks more like you push towards more of a... It almost looks like you used purple in the shadows. Did you use purple in the shadows? Is that what you did? Very, very good. If that's what you did, then bravo, sir. Because you don't see that enough. I mean, it's a fun way of shading yellow. Well, shading any color really with its complementary is a fun exercise. Because when you change the values, you discover some interesting things. Like if you go more yellow or more purple, it pushes in either direction. And, the fun part is finding that balance. I really like this conversion. I like this. I like the idea. He's just some elf mercenary roaming the galaxy. Fucking losing limbs, apparently. Yeah. I dig it, dude. I dig it. I like the colors. I kind of want to know, though, because I'm looking at that arm with that the yellow segmented armor on his bicep. It almost looks like that. It's a purple. Like it almost looks like you used Druchii Violet to push that shadow value down there. And now I'm curious, is that what you did? Did you do that? Did you use Druchii Violet? Or am I just seeing things? But yeah, good stuff, Legion. Thank you for sending that in. Awesome stuff. Please, feel free to send me stuff. If you want me to have a look, have a critique, and, you just want to send some of your work, Kris at wayofthebrush.com. If you're going to send pictures, send them as attachments in the email. Don't send it off as links to other sites because it just won't do it. It's annoying. I just won't do it. Just won't do it. Just won't do it. Leonid. Kris, what is your opinion about printing an entire army to be used for 40k. As note, the models are original designs intended to be used as proxies and not copies of GW models. If they're not copies, if you're not infringing upon anybody's IP, first step, bravo, because I realize how hard that can be. Secondly, using them as proxies, sure, no problems. I have no problems with proxies, especially if they look the part or if they fit within your theme or you just really like the style. Absolutely no problem. In a gaming group, friendly pick up and play type of stuff, I would not have, especially if they were painted. If it's all painted and it's, custom models and stuff like that, yeah. If the files, you paid for or they were for free on a legit site and, like all ethics aside, yeah. The only reason to ethically oppose any 3D printing is if it's stolen, copyrighted material. That's the only reason to oppose 3D printing. If it's legit and it's not infringing upon anybody's properties, yeah, go for it. In friendly games, if your entire army was all 3D printed and, you had it painted and it looked cool and, it fit within your theme, maybe your play style, whatever, right? Or you just like the look of the models better than what other companies provide. Nothing wrong with that, then yeah, have at it, man. Have at it. My opinion, yeah, ethics aside, yeah, as long as it's, it's not thievery, I'm fine with it. I wouldn't, like, if the tournament setting, yeah, don't be surprised if you're not allowed into a tournament because, especially like a Games Workshop official event, they want you playing with Games Workshop models, right? So now if you went and printed a bunch of, stolen designs and played in a tournament and passed it off as official models, that's a little unethical. I doubt anybody would know other than yourself, but that's on you. And that's true of cheating in the game. Cheating's on you. Like if you cheat at the game, that's on you. And that speaks volumes about you, right? So, and you're the one who has to look at you in the mirror. So you have to live with you. So, it doesn't bother me none. If you cheat at the game, I don't think very highly of you. But that's just my opinion. And it's just opinion, right? It's on you. If you cheat at the game, you need to cheat or have to cheat or, you can't help yourself. Yeah, that's on you, man. That speaks of very weak character. Cheating, thievery, stealing, stuff like that. It speaks to very weak character. Yeah. But anyway. Trencher 75, very cool conversion. I would immediately see that he is Eldar Corsair, and I also like the flames on the cape. Yeah, the flames on the cape. Yeah, it's all nice. I really enjoyed the color scheme. Oh, Legion, yeah. Yeah, it's purple, it's shaded yellow. Tested paint scheme is fun. The purple is Zers. Do I ever say that right? I've been saying this name probably wrong forever. Zers purple. Is that how you say that? Zers? The deep, nice saturated purple that they sell? Yeah. I like Zers purple. It's good purple. So it's just the purple you thinned down and just laid it in there? Okay. I got you. Yeah, that's good. I would have probably just stuck with Druchii Violet just because it's got that transparency to it. And that way you can have that deep line in the recess, but then you get that slight shift where it's thinned out, and especially if you even just feathered it out a bit, you'd get that transition of color. It would blend the color essentially, but it's not really blending, but your eye blends it. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying. Mr. Kavoshi, I posted in the Discord about the miniature acrylic paint range from Model Expo. Managed to find their eBay page, and they have a deal where they can get 12 1-ounce paints for $45 US. Thinking about getting them. Sure, give it a try. Personally, I've not played with that paint, so I could not offer you any advice either for or against. So, You're in uncharted waters, but feel free to swim. Feel free to swim. Them how you experiment with a new range you are unfamiliar with. Thinking about getting them. How would you experiment with the new range you are unfamiliar? Oh, whenever I'm playing with a new range of paints, me personally, I look at the metallics first. How do the metallics cover? Because everybody can do pretty much opaque colors just fine, right? Now, these paints, I have no idea if these are water-based acrylic paints or if they're acrylics or if they're enamels. So I have no idea, because all three of those operate differently on a surface, and how you treat them, how you clean them, right? So what brushes to use, or, techniques, stuff like that, what you can do. Also, whatever auxiliary products they offer, like mediums, retardants, stuff like that, right? All these other questions I ask myself. If the paint line, like, see, for example, scale 75, I really enjoy their colors. I really enjoy the paints. The paints cover well, they flow nicely. But I wish, and I think they started to doing this now, but years ago, I wish that they offered more mediums to complement their paint line, like glaze mediums, varnishes like the matte medium, gloss medium, semi-gloss, retardants, additives, all these things, right? I wish that they offered those initially when I was getting those paints, right? So, that said, when working with a brand new paint line that I've never tried out before, I usually start off with one color. Usually it's metallics, but if it's a particular color, then I'll pick like a red, blue, whatever, black, white, something along those lines. Something bold, something usually the mid-tone value I'll pick. So it's not like like if I go blue, it's going to be the mid-tone value blue. It's going to be the primary blue. It's not going to be the shadow version of it. It's not going to be blue that's very dark, like a navy blue. It's not going to be very light, like a sky blue or baby blue, right? It's going to be the middle of the road. Get the paint and try it out on a surface. Regular primer, trying it out. See how it looks thinned out. See how it looks when you apply it fairly thick. See how it looks when you apply it with a big brush and just slap a bunch of it down. See how it looks when you thin it down and apply it like, glazing, like watercolor essentially. Put it through its paces. When playing with a new paint line, I do not recommend working on your good projects. Have other projects, old projects, or that's oftentimes why you see people use plastic spoons, especially if you're doing airbrushing. If you're running it through an airbrush, right? There's a whole bunch of questions to ask yourself, and which is why I caution a lot of people a lot of times about when they see new paints. Like, why do you have to go get this new paint line? Now, I'm not discouraging you from buying paints so much, but why do you feel that you need to get these new paints? With the paints that you currently have, what are they not doing for you? Right? That's the first question you should be asking yourself. I have X brand paints. What is it failing to do for me? What am I not achieving with these paints? I've heard these paints do this particular thing well. I'll give that particular color a try and try it out for yourself, right? Oh, I really like how that covers. I'll buy more. Sure, right? But the first thing you should always ask yourself is, with the current paints that I'm using, what is not occurring for my finished paint job? What are they failing for me? Okay? And if the answer is yes to anything that is failing for you, then yeah, try it. Then, feel free. Or feel free to buy whatever the fuck you want. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. You want to blow your money on every paint line? That'd be extremely expensive, but go right ahead. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. But yeah, I mean, venturing into other paint lines, is it necessary? No. Is it for your own education and knowledge of products and, things like that? Then sure, go right ahead, right? But I don't think you need to buy an entire paint range to know that. Just a few colors. the basics, the primaries, and the metallics, right? And that'll tell you everything you want to know about the paint line, usually, you know. But yeah, that's it. But as far as like how to experiment with them, yeah, I just put them through their paces, like what I'll do with them, right? Again, it all depends on what kind of paint it is, right? Water-based, acrylic, or enamel. How it covers on top of black primer, white primer, right? If it's a metallic, how smooth on top of gloss, on top of a matte, right? Saturation, putting it on really heavy, putting it on really thin, right? How does it operate in all of those conditions? Then mentally I kind of, I liked it, didn't like it, whatever, right? So I don't really record, like write down or, thoughts on particular paints and how they work. I've never really evaluated paint like that. It's usually just kind of anecdotal and just, I like the way this cover's better. And oftentimes that's all it is. It's all anecdotal. When somebody says a particular paint line is the best, I doubt it. In my experience, I have yet to see the ultimate paint because no paint line covers all the bases as far as, having, the best coverage or the, best thick coverage doesn't obscure details, or thin glaze, good metallics, shininess, varnishes, and, I don't see it. So it's not really necessary. Leonid. No, I played Garage Hammer. And yes, they're all original designs. Yeah, go right ahead. I don't think you need my permission to do it. You can do whatever you like. You can hobby however you like. Whatever your hobby is. For however long you hobby. You can do whatever you want. Sophie, I like those metallic paint you used to the Eldar Gate. I think it was in 2018. Oh, yeah. That was Spastics. That was an enamel-based airbrush. Yeah, for the Eldar Wraith Gate. Yeah, it was a color shift. Metallics. If you're passionate about metallics, as I am, enamel-based, solvent-based paints, metallics, it's hard to beat. There's some really great metallics out there, like Citadel metallics. I always had an issue with Citadel metallics until I started using a gloss primer for those surfaces that were going to be, like, if the entire model was going to be predominantly metallic, yeah, a gloss primer and Citadel metallics look great on top of it. Turbo Dork, I really enjoy just because of the sheer variety of colors. It's their entire paint line is metallics in a wide variety of colors. And remember, Kim? Oh yeah, I seen your comments there, Kim. Remember, I was asking about picking up, carry case, and you had suggested the one from Green Stuff World. Yeah, that got back to me really, really fast. That was really, really fast. And I have yet to put my Turbo Dorks, because it was for my Turbo Dorks I was going to put them in. And because I got Turbo Dorks all over the place. I've got like all the paints, and they're everywhere. And I wanted something, an option. I still plan on filming a video and just talking about something. It's kind of something what Sophie was talking about a couple episodes ago. I had mentioned that I would talk about it, but yeah. Anyway, Trencher75, nice chat. Have a good day. Way the Brush. Later, duder. It's just Kris. You don't have to call me Way the Brush. Kim, I got most paint brands of paint because I'm a weirdo collector and I love to try them all. And it's only brands I really like that I have the full range of, but it's still something people should. But it's not something people should do. It's expensive, and you can do most of the work in our hobby with a handful of paints. True, very true. No matter what paint line you're working in, as long as you have the primary colors, black and a white, and a metallic, preferably a silver and a gold, just because the gold's kind of tricky sometimes. But yeah, that's all you need. That's all you need. That's what the primaries. That's red, yellow, blue, right? Black, white, silver, and gold. 7 colors. It's all you need, really. Technically, it's all you need. That's the you could probably bring that down to 6 if you drop gold. But if you have a nice bright silver, yeah, like a bright silver, and a pure white and a pure black, and the pure primaries, yeah, you can do it all. So six colors, technically, is all you need to do is a miniature. You can do anything with the 6 colors. But yeah, anyway. Although, having said that, there is one thing that you do have to buy the paints for. And it's hard to make happen without just buying the product. And that is transparencies. Transparent colors. Transparent colors are particularly difficult to, like, getting a transparent color. Like, say, for example, doing metallic and then laying a clear color on top of it gets you the colored metallic, as opposed to trying to mix the color into the metallic. It never ends up looking good, especially with red. Red is the worst. Mixing red into silver to try and make a metallic red doesn't work. You got to use clear colors to do it, and that's something you just got to buy, you know. But yeah, and I mean, like, Kim, do you actually have all the paints from every paint line? Because, like, there's like 70 paint lines, 70 companies. So you have 70 companies worth of paint? Good God, man. That's insane. You're crazy. You're crazy. Sorry, I'm just clicking through here. I can hear all sorts of activity above me. Everybody's returning home now. Kim. Yeah, the clear medium they use for the transparent colors is something else. Yeah, well, I think it's predominantly, like, for clear colors. I don't know how contrast does it, but, like, for, like, you know, Minotaur ghost tints and stuff like that, I think they're closer to more of the alcohol-based paints. I think that's why it reactivates. I've always had that problem with ghost tints, is that you lay it down, and then if you lay another color on top of it, it'll mix. Yeah, because it reactivates it. And so I think it's more of a, which is why I always recommend with ghost tints to seal and then, you know, lay another color on top of it. But yeah, at least in my experience with Minotaur ghost tints. Most of them I got at least 50 lines. Crazy. Why on earth? I mean, like there's one paint line that I'm curious about, but I cannot get it. Raditz, I think is what it is. They're a company out of Thailand, and you know I'm kind of curious about Thailand. I'm joking. Yeah, I don't. I thought I had it on my Instagrams, but no. Anyway, yeah, they're a enamel-based paint. They're solvent-based paint, and yeah, they look very interesting. There's beautiful colors. A lot of the enamel paints. I mean, like, you know, you like Tamiya, whatever. Fantastic colors, fantastic paints. You know, last forever. The covers so nicely, solid. You know. The only thing is, though, is that doing glazing, which is a lot of what we do in miniature painting, glazing, wet on wet blending, stuff like that, is a bit trickier. It's a bit trickier. But, you know, it's possible, but it's a bit trickier. Wet blending with enamels. That's one I've never tried, is wet blending with enamels. Never tried it. Barone. So Raditz from Dragon Ball is making paint. Yeah, Raditz. Look it up, Raditz. Because like I only follow them on Instagram. Raditz Studio. This guy, if you follow him, Raditz Studio, or just check out his page. Yeah, he's got a bunch of Gundam. He's got like a bunch of figurines. The paints just look fantastic. They look like they come in big ass bottles. And I wanted to buy some of them, and he cannot ship them to North America. And I was like, well then, fuck you. No, I was like, oh, that's poop. That's poopy. But yeah, Raditz Studio. Here, I'll put it up on the screen here. Instagram. Yeah, Raditz Studio. Pretty sure it's Thailand. Because I sent this guy messages and stuff, and I talked to him a little bit. And yeah. But yeah, the paints just look fantastic. Some of these colors. I mean, I realize it's paint, right? And I'm pretty sure this is an enamel-based paint. But like, you get, like, look how big them bottles are. You know? Like, look at this, a freaking car. Look at this shit. It almost looks like Hobby Color or Mr. Color or like, you know, Tamaya. That's what it looks like. But yeah, I've been curious about this paint for a while. Oi, jeez Louise. Who dat? Oh, Leah.
Let me invite you a coffee, good sir. Cold sweat smile. You have no idea how much I've learned from your videos and tutorials. Thank you very much, Kris. Lot of love.
Well, thank you, Leonid. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the compliment. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad it helps. It's the whole reason I do this shit is to help. I try to anyway. Excuse me. Kim, I've not heard about them, but I got a bunch of obscure European brands that I got like 3 or 4 bottles of each line. Same with the Reaper lines. I only got a few of each there too. Like I said, if I, whoa, what? That was a sentence. Yeah, Kim. I've discovered this company a while back because I was just, you know, farting around and I was seeing these really wonderful Gundam. I think it was Gundams. The Gundams got me to this guy, and I was like, wow, these look fantastic. And, you know, it looks really straightforward. And I think he has like a YouTube, and he does like demonstrations and stuff like that. And it looks like, you know, it flows like an enamel paint. So, but yeah, I was very curious. I wanted to give it a shot, you know. And it looked like a good deal of paint because it looks like a good size of paint. It looks like at least a 2-ounce bottle. At least. But yeah. Anyway. Kim. Got a lot of them. I like the line. Oh, the Reaper, yeah. Yeah, which is why I don't really get that fired up about water-based acrylic paints. Because they're all pretty much the same. And the real defining factor for me as far as determining, you know, if I'm really a fan of the paint line is when I look at the metallics. Or when I look at yellow, white, black, and red. When you look at those 4 colors, how they cover on a figure, how they cover on top of white and black primers, and you know what I mean? Like, all these things, it tells you. And yeah, with water-based acrylics, they're all pretty much the same. But when you start getting into the regular solvent-based acrylics or enamel-based paints, then things start to change a bit. But yeah. Leonid. Now back to lurk mode. These models on my desk don't like to paint themselves. Kim, there is a guy that does custom Gundams that developed a paint line. G Paints is called. It's an enamel-based line, and that is something I want to try. So if you find the link, Kim, post it in the Discord. I want to see. Yeah, post that in the Discord. Mr. Kavoshi, primary reason I looked at them is because they are cheap in comparison to GW paints. Almost double the quantity for around the same price. They were advertised to be used on wooden ships, but figured if it's acrylic, it might work for plastic and resin minis. Yes, if it's acrylic, it's not water-based acrylic, right? Because acrylic and water-based acrylic are 2 different kinds of paints. One is basically got alcohol in it, essentially. That's the regular acrylics. And I think even some water-based acrylic paints have a slightly tiny amount of alcohol in them, but most water-based acrylics, you know, non-toxic, what have you, you know, you can pretty much eat the shit and you should be okay. I don't recommend that. Don't do it. But yeah. Versus enamel-based paints, which have lacquers and shit in them, and of course they're typically oil-based paints. Essentially, most enamel-based paints they're oil-based paints, right? So yeah. Kim, we got all the brands we like Chimera and AK Interactive 3-Gen. Best nowadays. I still got to do that switch thing for you to show off that Chimera. Yeah. Again, water-based acrylic paints. I have yet to really see anything that would convince me that they're not all the same. Yes, some of them have different acrylic binders, but otherwise, yeah, they all flow the same. They're, you know, there's not much to it. I mean, and realistically, that's true probably of all the paints other than the acrylic binders. I mean, really, you take the pigment, right, whatever the pigment might be to make whatever particular color you're going for, and then you add a binder, be it an acrylic binder, lacquer-based binder, right, an enamel binder, water-based acrylic binder, right? I mean, like, and you've got your different kinds of paints. The pigments themselves are all the same, be it synthetic or naturally sourced, but otherwise, the paints, right, the pigments that come out of the ground or that are made, they ship them off to paint companies who are going to make paints. You know, they take a scoop of that, put in whatever their binder is, and they got their paint. So, like, I don't understand, you know, when people talking about pigment in the paint being dramatically different, unless, of course, wherever the two companies are sourcing their paints. But again, I mean, I have yet to see anybody do a proper paint analysis comparing paint lines, right? The way the manufacturers of paint check their paint and test their paint, because they do have a test for their paints and how they test light fastness, coverage, saturation. You know what I mean? Like, they have check marks that they have to meet for their own paints, and that's how they test their paints. And I have yet to see anybody do that for paints, for water-based acrylic paints, because that's usually what we're talking about in this hobby, is water-based acrylics. But yeah, I've yet to see anybody really do that. I've yet. Kim, link in the Discord for the G paints. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yes, I'll check that out. G paints. I'm not familiar with that name, but I mean, there's so many different paint companies out there that, you know, some are, you know, from way back in the day, and some are, you know, new. Some might even just came out last year. Like, for instance, Turbo Dork. They've only been around, I think, 3 years, maybe. You know. So, yeah, you know, there's still plenty of room. Well, shit, even like what's his nuts there? Duncan. He just put out a paint line. I have not even looked at it. It's a water-based acrylic. I'm not trying to throw any shade his way or anything like that. But what is different about that paint line than Citadel's, than Army Painter, than Reaper, than Scale 75, than Vallejo? You know what I mean? What is different? What about the paint is different, right? So, yeah. Kim, the thing that makes Chimeras special is the insane covering power, and that they are single pigments, so you don't get a nasty surprise from the secondary pigment when mixing. Never really had that as an issue. Like, I understand the secondary pigments, right? Because, for example, Citadel's white. Citadel, what is it? Ceramite white. Okay? If you've ever let your Citadel ceramite white sit for a while, or I think any of the whites, really, if you let it sit for a while, you'll see the medium separate, right? The pigment and the medium will separate after a while if you just leave it alone. And you see the medium has got black in it. And you're like, why is the medium black? How's the paint so white? Well, it's because of that secondary pigment. That secondary pigment in the white, which typically for white paint, for pure white paint, it's titanium. It's titanium white. It's in the name, titanium. And that secondary pigment for ceramite white is carbon black. It's black. It's a black pigment in that white paint. And that actually makes the white stronger by having that little bit of black. Because basically, as the pigments sit on the surface, right, you got to imagine the molecules are sitting there. There's gaps in the paint. And so the titanium molecules are big, and the carbon black are much smaller. And so it fills in those gaps as that paint is sitting on a surface. And that way our eye reads it as much more white, even though the paint itself actually has a little bit of black in it. Imagine that. So I get it. But again, having that secondary pigment changing and shifting the color, I've never run into that as an issue. And I would need an example, I think. I need an example of that secondary pigment causing a problem. I would need that example. I mean, I'm afraid you're going to have to show me an example of the secondary pigment causing a problem in the paint, like in your paint job when you're mixing. Kim, think that the Duncan paint only was a Kickstarter. I can be wrong, but it's the impression I got. It's only a Kickstarter. Yeah, I have no idea. I know he has a paint line, and it's like a whole bunch of colors. But again, it looks like it's a water-based acrylic with the standard, sunburst yellow and evil sun's red, and you know what I mean. Like it seems like it's pretty standard fare. So I mean, I'm not rushing out to buy those paints. I'm not trying to throw any shade his way or anything like that. I've met the guy, had dinner with him, and he's a good dude, and but I don't know. There's so much, like when he went independent, man, there was so much that guy could have done. He didn't do. There's so much he could have done. I'm actually a little disappointed. I mean, he's huge success. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, no. The position that he was in, he could have done a lot more, but didn't. But what are you gonna do? Whatever. It's all right. I mean, much success. If you're brand new to this hobby, you want some help with the color scheme, maybe you want to show off what you're working on. Maybe you're a commissioned artist, want to drum up some exposure, or just want to show off your abilities. Maybe you have a question. Whatever it is, I don't care. Feel free to submit your questions to Kris at wayofthebrush.com. Central hub of all this silliness has the links to all the social medias as well as Discord. It's all in the description below. Join us on Discord. It's a lot of fun. We keep the conversation rolling there 24/7. Only one rule in the Discord: don't be a dick. It's the only rule. It's the only rule in the Discord. Don't be a dick. Everything goes. We got various channels of various topics, so feel free to chime in on whatever the hell you want to talk about, as long as you're not being a dick. That's it. That's all. It's straightforward. You'd have to be an idiot to fail at that rule. I only have one rule, and you'd have to be a complete fucking moron to fail at it. It's in the description below, as well as links for t-shirts. Get yourself a t-shirt. Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way of the Brush t-shirt. And if you purchase yourself a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt. I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also at wayofthebrush.com. You'll also find a link for Patreon. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without your support, this channel would not be able to continue to do what it is that I do. And so a huge thank you to everybody for their continued support. And everybody who's considering support. There are various tiers of support, and so a huge thank you for everybody who does. If you're not able to support monetarily, i.e. money, thumbing up the video, liking, following, subscribing, commenting, ringing the bell, smashing keyboards, slap shot a hockey puck into a goose, whatever you got to do, huge thank you to everybody who does that. All it takes is a couple clicks of a button, and you're helping me out a great deal. And so a huge thank you to everybody who does that. Big thank you to Carl, Guy Me, Alfir, Beer and Blood Bowl, Beaker, me. Beer and Blood Bowl, that's his YouTube channel. Check it out. If you love yourself some beer, you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. We always take time to thank Carl, even though he is no longer with us, for taking the time out of his busy day to create the email jingles, play before the email segments of the show. So always much love to Carl. And of course, speaking of love, much love to my baby brother Evan for creating the intro, outro music that plays at the beginning and end of the show. And so always much love to my baby bro Evan. And if you're into rare comics, EB Comics is in the description below. Check it out. He might have your comic hookup for all of you out there that do comics. Not do comics, but are into comics. Read comics? You know what I mean. Kim, oh, get on the Patreon for fuck's sakes. It's quite the ringing endorsement. Get the fucking Patreon, you bunch of jackaloons. Thank you, Kim. That's it. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I want to thank everybody with the super chats, Leonid and Doomslayer. Thank you for the super chats today. Much appreciated. And yeah. So hopefully we had some fun. Hopefully we answered some questions. Hopefully I've given you something else to think about. Really, I think that's the biggest one. Is I kind of like to shake up the common thought processes. Look at things a new way, and you'll find more answers that way. I'm not saying the answers are right, but you'll find more. But recognize and sift through them, right? And see what makes sense to you, because there's so much to this world that we don't utilize. It's kind of to bring it all back to a hobby perspective. It's like always working with one particular paint line your entire lifespan as a hobbyist. Just working within one paint line and never branching out into other paint lines. Feel free to branch out into other paint lines. It doesn't mean you're being, unfaithful to your favorite paints. It just means, sometimes a different value, shade of color, different techniques and employment and whatever, right? So always feel free. Always. Barfing sheep. As long as you slapshot a puck into a goose and not a cobra chicken, you should be fine. Yeah, in Canada, you don't mess with the cobra chickens. You do not mess with them. Do not. You die. People you know how many Canadians die a day to cobra chicken attacks? 0. Come on, people. The cobra chickens aren't literally killing everybody. It's comedy. It's a joke. Jeez Louise. Everybody's like, really? How many Canadians are dying from cobra chickens? For everybody out there who's wondering, what the fuck is a cobra chicken? Look up a cobra chicken on the internet. Don't worry. You don't even need your safe search on. You can have your safe search off. Maybe. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys next time. Next week, maybe. Possibly. I don't know. Oh, you know what? No, I think I got a birthday coming up. When is that? I don't even know. I don't even know when my birthday is. All right, let's get the hell out of here, people. Let's go enjoy the rest of this cold day.